something, and they,
Does it have to be done?
like, for the year.
Well, the policy is you wait.
Exactly. Even in our old age, we still want reset. Okay.
So you sent out a new one, Daniel, correct?
Yes. Right forwarded it.
Yep.
Now Megan did make some adjustments to hers.
And that's
We
not,
need an intercom. That's not included in what you've got in front of you.
yeah.
Okay.
Do we don't have a phone in here at all, do we? Like an actual landline phone?
We don't.
So, county board, it's pretty straightforward there. Wages, a little bit in lodging, a little bit in mileage allowance. If anything, we might could cut some out of that. We've always had around that $1,200 in there. Last year, we did only spend about $300. So we could cut some of that if we want to get down to nitty gritty pennies, which it's very possible we might have to. County clerk. Thoughts, comments, questions?
Oh, we had a visit with Mary about obviously her budget, and the county clerk's budget reflects the new, not new, but that office used to work with one extra employee. They went without, and now this is the part-timer that'll be in there. So the increase was due to the part-timer day working in there. So I think it's where it's at, currently. Unless we find something else.
So how much a day's salary would put in last year's actual?
38 is, did you show me 38?
2 days. At 16 hours a week.
So clerical regular time isn't reflecting. Because Lindsay's your deputy, correct?
Correct.
She's-
And she's in Register of Deeds.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
So the only one that comes out of here is Cheryl and Day. And so the 48 actual, that would be, that was Cheryl and a little bit of Day.
Day.
And now Day is at 20 hours a week or?
No, she's
Still
at
at
25. And instead of 16, she increased to an 8.
Okay. County treasurer, so she did send an update,
I had a chance to look at, did you look at that?
just
She
briefly,
just got on the
yeah.
phone. Good.
She sent it at 11:50 or something. I
Okay.
believe, Jill, you got the
Yeah,
new numbers,
okay.
the latest numbers,
Yep,
294 or something.
yep, 294, 850.
So that is a reduction after our discussions with her.
Okay.
That is providing a raise.
What did we read? What did we figure out? You had wrote those figures down.
Yeah. Ours came in a little under
Of what we had
of
figured
what we
out?
had figured out.
Okay. See, I haven't looked through it yet. Okay.
It is more, it is more, at one point in time, we had talked about, so it is a little bit more than some of the numbers that we had talked about originally.
I think what we originally did was we took salary, the full-time salary that went away, and we pulled that out of
Right.
clerical.
Correct, and so.
And then we adjusted by that spreadsheet, we had adjusted the FICA and stuff back that way too. Because when you looked at a $20 an hour employee with the FICA and PERS and stuff, that is $44,807.76.
Right. Right, so that was where we came up with that 280. Must be.
And she should,
So.
I mean, we should be able to get her at some point in time too, if we need her in here.
So there could possibly be, depending on where we want to see some of the personnel, there might be some more that could come out of there.
What was that figure again, Daniel? Bottom line?
Of what she proposed,
Yeah,
294, 850.
thank you. There we go.
Yeah, so. All right. Register deeds.
Any comments, Mary?
No, I did increase the dues training fees. 'Cause I do want her to go to, NACO in December. She went last year. We kind of went over budget on that line item.
And of course, that's reflected, the salary is reflective of the
A
recommended dollar.
dollar raise.
Raise. Good.
County assessor. So I don't know what one we're looking at.
This is one of the ones with
The deputy,
deputy salary.
yeah, the deputy salary
It's
is
over
at
10%.
$30.25 per hour. I don't remember if that's his recommended salary.
That's what, that was not on the spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet for
So
assessors.
his latest and greatest at 264.
Where?
264.
total?
Well, the one he just sent is 281,900.
Oh, it's up
You
again.
have another one? You have another one?
Yes.
You have one? Did I not receive that one? So it's up from what, the 279,100 is what I have. When did he send that?
5 o'clock last night.
Okay.
502, wasn't it?
I did not receive that one. So what numbers are you guys looking at the change?
So, okay.
Did I read it wrong? 281,900. Okay. We had talked about, around that 270.
Yep.
So,
I guess we just gotta start putting in what we think the numbers are gonna have to be and go from there.
What's the deputy assessor like rate that you have for
Uh,
those numbers?
What he recommended,
31.
3180.
3186? Okay. I was just wondering if that was the same as the other sheet.
She's making 28.96 right now.
Yeah, I see that. That'd be the second highest on the sheet behind
Mhm.
roads upgrading position there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
He doesn't have enough in his budget for that.
That one I just sent you,
Oh, the one you just sent me?
Yes.
The one on here doesn't.
correct.
Damn.
I'm trying to cut, but one sent to us with more. I mean, we did it to Gary. So we're just gonna have to start, I mean, we've got to find places to cut, so county assessor, 270. Let's go back to, county treasurer.
Or we had 280 roughly.
280 total.
On the treasurer. Right? That's,
I was just trying to figure out how you were getting to 280 total based on what she's got
right,
on here, because what you guys were talking wages seems consistent with what she has here.
I think it's, there's a raise in her budget that
Okay,
we were gonna pull. I think there's this, it's all public, there's a $6 raise for one of our gals.
okay,
And so we're gonna pull that,
okay.
tamp that down a little bit. If we allow a little bit.
But what did she say?
At your 280, if we cut it down to like 287. That'd allow her to give a little bit of a raise.
Okay,
So we can try for that. County treasurer, 287.
okay.
The assessor,
270.
so 6. Election. I don't know if I can cut anything out of that. Because I do have an election. And I won't have anything for a special election if I have.
What line item is special election under?
Everything. It's the same.
Just throughout it.
Yeah. Voting supplies, it would be voting supplies, office supplies, and, election part-time.
On average, special election is how much?
If it's like part of the county, $3 to $5. If it's the full county, you're looking at $5 to $10.
And if the county isn't involved, we can get reimbursed for those.
Correct. It still has to come out of my budget.
Right,
Yeah.
right, but we can get 100 fund can get reimbursed if the county
Yes,
is not involved. Right?
Correct.
Like if it's
right. If it's
a recall election for,
recall for Henderson board, yeah,
Gotcha.
or the city, or, yeah.
so if we were looking at, some ways of saving, we could pull some out in that event and then we'd have to find a resource to spend it on too.
Right, but what I budgeted was for the general election. I didn't budget for any
For
special
another one.
elections.
Which is this November, and then
Which is
you're
this November.
good. You got one.
And we had a primary in May, and then Leroy's special election last year.
Okay,
So
so the actual is 84 with 2 elections, of course,
That
But
was
Leroy's-
only part of the
Right.
county.
just part
But,
of the
and
county.
we had to absorb that cost.
right. So with a special election, and the primary is 84. So 3% would be 87 over what you actually spent. 3% over your budget from last year would be 90. And you've got just a little bit of a raise for your
Yeah.
election clerk.
A 75-cent raise.
How do you compare the primary versus general?
It's gonna be busier.
It's
It will
not
be.
about the same expense because you have to train them all over again and everything.
No, well, you do train
workers.
every period, but you have more voters go out, so I'm going to order more
Supplies.
ballots. Yeah, for the primary, I think I did 70 or 75% of ballots. And for the general, I'll probably do 100%. Well, for the last general election, we had over 70% come out and vote. So I'm gonna order 100% of ballots.
And those, I mean, can that be absorbed in that 2,000 or 3,000 that Daniel's talking about there? If we went,
Depends. I don't have to buy.
Your
media
increase
this
in that
year.
department is in personnel costs. I mean, if you're looking at where your differences are,
It's in person.
your difference is in personnel costs. And you're looking at actual 64.7 to 72.2. Your other areas don't have that I mean, you don't have enough room.
right,
That's where your additional cost is.
Right, but a dollar wage increase would be 2080. And actual last year was 40.
And then I did the 45. I'm doing 2275 times 75 times 26 equals 44,362. I did 45 because during elections, she does work more hours than her 75 hours in 2 weeks.
but not considered overtime?
No.
And then, 15,000 for, election workers to 18,000.
Yes, because I'm gonna have to have somebody in the office this year because I'm not able to be in the election room and neither is Cheryl. Her husband and son are on the ballot, I'm on the ballot. So I need to have somebody in the office with Kayla, through early voting.
How long period is that?
About 6 weeks before and then I'll have her, do the audit and canvassing, all of that stuff, that was in last year's price, but the only difference is I'm gonna have somebody help Kayla give out ballots Lindsay can be in there.
Some external or somebody that's already on staff?
Somebody that we hire every year
Okay.
for it, yeah.
Well, there's the justifications.
Which for the primary, we didn't have to have that. There was enough help. I was able to be in there, Lindsay was, but. And I don't wanna throw she'll help, but she's learning still. I don't
Okay.
wanna. Yeah, the general election is way easier, but.
Well, I would say that even if you did find anything, it's gonna be a couple,
Right, yep,
so
exactly.
keep moving on.
Planning,
Zoning.
go ahead, yeah.
Planning and zoning, there's gonna be different ideas about that. We gotta have something in there.
Yep.
Whether it needs to have more wage in there or, we don't know this year whether, what, at least the minimum of what it had last year, I would guess.
Right, yep.
And once again, when you're talking $2,000-3,000, it's not
Right.
a big a deal.
And probably need to have something in there, well, whoever it is, it probably have to have some training. So for now, we probably just move on past that one. Unfortunately, data, it's a big one. I guess there's two places, maintenance and licensing and data processing equipment. The requests for hardware are up. And we can cut that down and just tell people they gotta run on what they've got. So that's one area that we can look at. We've been experiencing the benefit of the LATCF fund to fund that. That will dry up this year, and so this is picking up what has been requested above and beyond what the fund balance is in that account. And then the maintenance and licensing agreements are up. A lot of that is Vanguard items in the assessor's office. So there's some of that maybe we can talk about asking not to purchase those equipments or those softwares and licenses.
But some we've already agreed to,
Some of it we've already agreed to,
So-
correct?
it's there.
Yep. So for now, keep that in the back of your mind and
Maybe come back and take 10,000 out of equipment or something.
The cyber liability, is that our insurance that's went up that much?
unfortunately, insurance, it's
Same
a
boat.
shot in the dark, but I don't know that we can
We don't
be
know.
any lower. Unfortunately,
We
there's
went
some of
over
these things
budget on
that
that one last year.
Yes.
just, in order to run a company, you have to have some of these expenses, and so then that unfortunately ties you back, or ties your hands to what you can do in other areas.
Yep.
District Court, I believe she was right at 3%. That's a little more, what did we? Or did you
That
pull?
says you transfer.
Thank you.
Yeah, if I
Thank
look
you.
at the one where, I think the sheet that I initially sent out, where it adds it back, she's spot on 3%.
All right, thanks. County court is another one, unfortunately, it's what it is, and we're already 200,000 in, and that's half of what we have in here to budget, and we're only 4 months into the budget.
Year-to-date expenditures, 162, 361.
And then what's ever been in August?
The positive side of that is that we are as close to current as we've been in a long time.
Right.
In that one, but still, unfortunately, I mean, we can probably come down a little bit off of that, but we're not gonna be able to come too terrible much.
In just this pay period, she had 3,400 in court appointed. And then
We may be able
another 4,000.
to come down a little bit, and, you know, if we have the budget authority and some of the other budgets have got it, we could entertain maybe 400 in there. But like I say, we're at 160, well, like I say, what have we got this month? So a short 200
4,000 is what we spent this month.
this month. Okay, so we're about 165 then, because my sheets would be as July 31st that I have.
I don't see it, that's gonna be any cheaper. I don't see how that can even possibly be any cheaper than.
Well, the only way that, if the new Denton County Public Defender and gets a deputy and they start getting some of those cases where we're not getting on, then yeah, maybe by the end of the year, we're starting to play a little bit better in that realm, but yeah, I don't know. Actual in 24-25 was 406 and, 460 last year. Now, those are with some big ones. Unfortunate, there was, a local attorney that had thousands of dollars on the books yet that we cleared up,
Right.
60, 70,000, I think in a couple of different instances. So we shouldn't have that. But then again, we've got a lot of outside attorneys working for us right now too. And the bills are coming in from what we give 90 days of
I think so,
of
but
no
I,
cases.
right.
So those bills will be coming also.
I think she wanted billing quarterly.
And she's been doing a good job. She's been
Doing a great job.
going
trying to
after
get
it and trying to get them to keep current. So there could be, depending on how the numbers come, there could be an area there just to grab a little bit, but that's gonna be right there.
Public defender. I think what we had kind of looked at was going 3% over the actual, which was right at the budget. And I think we worked that back into where it would allow them a deputy. I believe it worked. That number would be 267, 300.
267.
Yeah.
And to Andy's point before, this would be a budget that I'd like to see us take that we won't be able to take the deputy completely out of there because we're getting deputy expenses the first couple months.
That's how we got to that number.
That was,
I think
and
so.
then drop the rest out of it.
I think that's how we did that. Let's see.
But it doesn't disappear. We've got to hold it back in miscellaneous
Right.
to hold on to it. But,
That's taking out 66,000 from what was there, which included 80,000 in the deputy salary.
And if we only paid a deputy 6 months,
Doesn't have that.
and that's 40 hours,
did we not?
that's only $34,000. That's if we paid him $65 an hour,
That don't
40
don't
hours
even
an hour.
worry about the $65 an hour.
Was the 305, line item 305, did we not work that line item did we leave it? the same?
Yeah, well, I was just working that over here. $35.50 at 30 hours a week and $25 at 40 hours a week, according to this spreadsheet that I'm looking at. That Cheryl pulled out of ease. That's the number of hours they're supposedly scheduled at. So at their current wage, at their current hours, it's 101,140.
So 101, 307 is actual.
Was actual, yep.
Okay.
So if we run off of the actual, that all lines up pretty close. And then we would have to add in 12,000 over the actual 250, 532 plus 12,000 would be 271,532. So that would be last year's actual, and then increasing the official salary to cover that, leaving 20,000. So that would be the 20,000 in the deputies line item for what we're currently paying that deputy.
Up until he takes over as
Right.
public defender.
So
Okay.
does that make
Yes.
sense? 271, 532. And then we need to make a note to put something in miscellaneous.
Well, the other,
60?
yeah, what's left out of there.
Child Support District Court, I believe that one again was one that was right at 3% probably.
Yes.
Comments, questions? Building and grounds. I believe if the recommendation of Brian at 27, you need to bump that to 56 rather than 55.
56,160 is what I got.
Sorry, say that again.
56,160.
And then I had wrote down here on the bottom line, adjusting it so it was 340. Did we do that just for evenness, or was there
Yeah,
another line
what
item?
that 56,160 was, not
Oh, but
the
we,
emperors and stuff were gonna go
yeah,
up, but,
right.
um,
So that will adjust up slightly.
and that one was pretty flat. It was under 3%,
Mhm.
pretty flat from last year.
Are these included the new wages that he?
Recommended for his people? Good question.
Yes.
I think it looks like it. Yeah, it should be. 645, extension.
Holden. They're usually right on.
Any other comments, questions, concerns? Sheriff, we already went through. County attorney, we already went through. Vehicle inspection, there's nothing there. Drug testing, pretty straightforward. County attorney child support, this one, there is no budget, but there is some funds in there. So if we want access to those funds, we're gonna need to put something in there, not to exceed the fund balance, but we need to know what we can or can't spend that money on.
Yeah, but that's different than this one.
Is it?
That's the 985 fund.
Never mind.
It's okay. That's the 985
This is the
fund.
one.
This is the department.
This was
You're right.
day
If this
former.
went away.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
this is no
Yes.
longer-
All right. Jail, I think it was fairly,
It was pretty flat.
1.85%.
county surveyor, wage increases a little bit. He was here in front of us, talked to us about why he wanted some of that money in there, what he thought would help the next person. And I mean, it's a pretty minimal increase.
Yeah, office supplies are up, but I mean, the overall minimal increase.
It was at 4.77%.
It was on surveyor? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, his office supplies, he wanted to get a couple new surveyor books and one was like $1,000. Crazy. How expensive they were.
Thoughts on what we do? Leave it for now?
I agree.
Alright. Weeds. So I believe, we, had talked, I think Mary put it in there to pull the, vehicle out and put it in inheritance. The reason we decided to do that on this one, that's not a equipment purchase that we foresee having to do regularly. If we upgrade it now, we shouldn't have to touch it for 5-7 years, something like that. And so just funding that directly out of inheritance seems to make sense.
Well, plus with the plan that was given was it wasn't necessarily the weed that was gonna get the new one, it was gonna be some transfer rounds. So
Yep.
why not just do it that way?
The one thing here is the wage is 24.10, it should have been
Yeah, I think,
55, 128.
yeah, so we need to bump that up.
55, 120.
Yeah, say 54.
I'm just gonna do 55, 120.
The one thing I would like to point out again, I know we've talked about it, is last year we ran off of a significantly robust overrun of chemical that was laid in by the previous gentleman. So that's why it is where it is this year. It's still cheaper than what the actual spend of 22,904 was 2 years prior. Plus, we're actually also figuring in the pay to spray chemicals into that as well.
Did we put some in, Andy, do you remember? Did you see any area in there? And I don't think we've done that yet, but an estimation of revenue possible?
Yeah.
You did put that in somewhere?
It was submitted, I don't know if it ever made it into the budget. So when we look at revenue, we probably need to
Did he
see.
send you
we
the
talked
updated
about-
number?
No, did he yesterday?
No.
We had talked about maybe $600 to $700
I think it
somewhere in there.
was $750, and that's just what we have on the books already.
Okay.
This fiscal, so that's not adding any more, I know it's going.
We could,
Well, we want to be conservative, but we want to be fairly accurate with it too.
Right, so that's why I think 750 is a really conservative number, because everyone's just grabbed at it, because it's little stuff that, hey, they don't have the equipment for, can't do it themselves, and it's too small for commercials that are actually in the business of doing that, they won't touch it. So it's a great fit for grabbing some extra revenue.
What line item does that go under?
We'll have to look. We'll just look in the manual, county manual, I bet. Because I don't see anything set up for it, so. We can find that.
alright, Veterans Service Office, line 2-2850, we had put 2,000 in there. We haven't used that line item for the last few years.
We gotta make sure we leave 500 in it, because we expended 500 last year.
Okay.
And that's what we've been doing, is just replacing the money out.
But is that out of the 1900 fund, not the 833 department of the general fund?
I think
Because there was a 1900 Veterans Aid Fund.
Okay.
That's what, yeah, because that's where we were putting the money for a while, and then we weren't expending it, so we,
Right.
yeah, because it's got 20.
It's got 23,535.82
I always,
in
I'm
it.
sorry, I always get this.
That's okay.
No, nope.
There's $600, there was $600 actual spent in 25-26.
Yes.
So it was the 2,000 intended to really be that transfer
Right,
to 1900?
I believe so.
I think that's what
They have-
why I put in there.
So we need to leave 600 of it in there.
On the Veterans Aid cost
No.
or
Well,
the 1900? I'm so confused. What are we talking?
We need to put put it in the 2850, but it will be transferred to the 19.
I don't think you need to do that.
We
You got $23,000 in the 1900 fund to spend.
Okay.
So what fund is, do we gotta keep a certain?
I don't think we have to keep a level in there. At one time, we said we were gonna keep like 30 in there and we'd build it up, but then, Nick was finding other monies.
Yeah.
And so then we just didn't, we haven't really funded it, because there was plenty of funds there, and so, no, I don't think there's a minimum we have to keep
What would
in.
the 500 that we spent on the veteran aid be?
Well, we didn't, it was budgeted, but we didn't.
No,
actually
it had
spend.
600.
Oh, it's budgeted, okay, I got you,
Yeah.
sorry.
So could we change that 2,500 then?
We can just eliminate
We could
it.
zero it.
Eliminate it.
We'll zero it.
Yep.
Okay.
But then we do need to adjust, well, no, actually,
No,
we
you've
just
got
need
already
to
got
leave
the
them the same.
authority.
Right, the wages. And so I think
Oh.
those wages are actually correct.
Oh, yeah, that was.
Yeah,
that is.
Is the
Hers would have to go up, the clerk regular time
Yeah,
at 2150, I believe is what we kind of came to a consensus on. At 2080 would be 44,720.
yeah.
So up to where?
Increase it.
The things I know that we did increase, lodging, which we could probably crack that back down to 500. Mileage allowance. We had a reason we put that,
For the car.
yes, because the car's getting double booked at times. So we're putting them, we've done it in different line items, we're putting it in the right line. To pay mileage to people with their own vehicles.
You started that.
So, yeah, so I want to talk through because maybe there is something I'm missing. But for example, you just calculated through that wage at the hours and 2,080 hours at 44,720. So we put that down. But then you've got this $2,500 in for holiday and overtime pay.
You are correct, and I forget when I'm doing that because they code holiday pay
Differently, but when you are, so what I'm saying to you is, are we
over both.
double
Yeah,
budgeting
those
some
days.
wages because we're budgeting in two places?
Correct. Yes,
In
you are
areas
100%
that,
correct.
I mean, I understand some areas you're gonna have true overtime.
Right.
But I don't know if there's some that we need to look back and consider whether we've got some double up. If we're looking for every
Every
penny we
penny.
can
Yep.
find.
Yep, no,
Sorry.
that is very correct because I forget to do that when I'm calculating the 2080.
There is 13 holidays.
Oh,
Is it 13, 14?
13.
In there 14? We do the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Megan,
just looking at what we,
I think there's 13 holidays because you have one in
you're saying we
January,
take it out of the top.
February,
Yeah.
none in
You
March,
either reduce,
one in April,
I don't.
May,
That's why,
June,
that's why.
July. none in August, one in September, 2 in October,
And when they are.
Two
or
three.
1 in October, 2 in November, and 1 in December.
Put it in that
There's
line.
3 in November.
There's 3 in November.
But we pay,
Really
like
just
I say, we pay the Friday after Thanksgiving.
January, February, nothing in March.
There's 14,
I think there's 14.
Is there a day in April?
yes.
2080.
May.
The only 2 months that don't have is March and August.
Yeah.
And if we have 13.
There's 2 in,
July,
2,000.
September.
There's 2 in
November has
Christmas
3,
Day
and
and New
December
Year's Day.
has 1.
So really, we probably need to figure 2,000 hours instead of 28.
So what month other than November has more than 1?
January,
That's two?
New Year's Day,
Oh, okay.
President's
That would be a
Day,
good
or Washington,
average.
whichever day
That's
that
okay.
is.
Makes sense to me.
January's
February is
Martin.
President's Day.
2, 3, 4,
So I've never-
March
we've never
doesn't have
done
any
this, we've had to do this
7,
before.
8, 9, 10,
January
11,
13.
I'm sorry, what?
January has MLK.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Also
not
known as
President's
my
Day.
birthday.
President's is
President's Day is
Right.
in February,
February.
I was gonna do
So-
so we have 13.
Unless there's a January
Unless we
and
missed one.
November are the only ones that I have more than one.
Yeah, that's it.
So then 10 months have one, and then,
Say figure, yeah.
So you're talking, if you're at 8 hours, right, not all hours.
Right, yeah.
13 days times 8 hours is 104 hours.
Yeah,
I suggest we
take
just.
104 hours out of that,
2,000 hours to calculate it.
or get rid of the holiday pay line item.
Yeah, I don't, I
Overtime.
have no idea why that's separate, but.
I wish it'd just
Sure
be
there's a
overtime.
reason.
Yeah, just change it to be overtime instead.
Picture.
Do you know why? Is there,
Is there a reason? So we won't have to code it differently if we don't want to, do we?
Yeah, I mean, I think you put it on it goes on their pay stub when you have holiday, but what line item that
Yeah,
gets
it's
charged to?
It comes out
I
of the
don't-
line item.
Yeah, I don't know, in my mind, would I revamp your payroll? No, I'd let it go as it is and we just adjust.
Just do
Budget. I mean,
right,
to me, it seems a lot easier to say times 2,000
Yeah.
hours than times 2080 and we fix the budget rather than going, oh, we're gonna change how we process payroll.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just should.
okay.
Okay, so Daniel, what was your wage on that one?
2150
Times 2,000, right? You're good, you're all good with
That'll
doing
make a
that?
difference.
Yep.
if we do this.
So that makes it 43,000. And then we may need to go back and look at some of those other,
Right,
Couple
and so
of-
then I suppose we need to adjust Nick's to,
Nick is salary, so no.
why, what difference does it make?
It's still gonna,
Is this, does his get coded, his gets coded different?
it's
No,
coded
he-
as holiday pay, though.
No,
Those
it doesn't. No.
Those 13 days, dude.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I
No.
don't know.
Salary doesn't have the
Salary,
line
salary just
item.
divided by the DOI. I'm not sure. You have to ask Cheryl.
Yeah,
So
salary.
because that's a big.
I'm guessing his is not in
I
there.
don't know.
Because
It wasn't in there
I don't
obviously
think it-
before.
your actual holiday overtime was 1880.
Right.
I know it's not the same, but I took the 13 times 8 is 104. I took 2150 times 104, that's 2236. So if your actual last year was 1880,
Okay, yep,
you don't have two people's holidays
Okay,
in there.
yep.
You have one person's holidays in there.
Salary people do not get paid, taken out of
Okay.
the holiday.
Just hourly.
Just hourly. So everybody that's on salary will need to adjust that one.
So then on that one, we adjusted down the 2,000 out and then adjusted the wages.
Yeah,
Yep.
I put 43,000 rather than whatever it was, 44 or something that I know that I had.
handy bus, little
Did we-
adjustment in the wages probably.
Yes.
She said a difference, didn't she?
And then, you see the other piece in there was that 50 for cars and trucks was out of there from the last.
Right. But do we need to adjust wages?
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out.
That's in this one. So she says cost 5796.53. Would that, do you think that's,
We're gonna have to take the salaries, I'm guessing, and figure into that.
Yeah.
Into the drivers and because they weren't all in,
oh, right, probably.
just right in the driver. And we'll have to, she did not send the breakdown, which we could ask her to do that, I guess. So that one we'll have to do a little bit more clarification on.
All right, miscellaneous.
That number that you have there is not correct, the 1.1 million.
Okay.
In part because you're missing lots of transfers.
Yep.
So, bear with me a second. And I made sure that transfers were still in balance after the changes that I had been given. So that total, Miss General, is $3,330,996.37.
Okay, 3,300,000.
30,996.37. And bear with me, because I think I had a couple other,
A couple things, and we need to add a little bit, and we
Right.
need to look at 2100.
okay, part of what's missing are my costs. They were not in there.
Oh.
What?
No,
That's all right.
You're not free?
you're not free.
Oh.
So that is,
Yep.
Yeah,
Now she
I
knows our
pulled-
master plan.
I pulled from the proposal, the audit, is 40,250. And then the budget is 10,500. Those were the top ends of the proposal.
Okay.
Remember that right now your single audit because of your federal money. So, that's part of that audit piece.
Line 2100. So Be Brave, you said that is it who? What is that? Who do,
Nico, I pulled it. And did they request any money this year
No.
from us?
no. That's like, who are they or?
Be Brave. It's that, the child advocacy place that they take the kids to for police ticket, the abused kids there for
That's
their,
right,
their forensic interviews. That's what that's for.
And then, probably better wait till she comes back.
I initially had from our prior meeting, 100,000 in the miscellaneous, and it's now at 140. Did
Should be
something
150, and then we're gonna have to add another 60.
so it should be 150.
Mary put in proposed 140.
Because I think the original 150 included the 50,000 to transfer for the vehicle out of aging, which is why we knocked it down to 100.
In 9900.
Because there was no transfer booked to move that 50,000. Because Mary had plugged that in with miscellaneous, not as a
I see. Right.
transfer. So then it went to 100,000.
Right, and well,
I know that, so I just didn't know if the 40 was something specific,
Yeah,
because that
not-
was a
don't
new
think
number
so.
to me.
It was annual service agreement contribution that we agreed to for 6545.
okay,
But this year,
They
they
haven't
didn't
come to us
request
yet.
anything.
right? So it's the child advocacy interviews.
And it was
so-
billed to York County Attorney.
Right. Yeah.
That,
And so I'm sure that we will get that again at some point. So I think that probably needs to go into that. I mean, I don't know why it's probation costs. We might need to figure out a different line,
Different word for
For that.
line, yes.
but for now, we probably better have it budgeted $6,600. So now if we talk about miscellaneous, going back for a few years anyway, I think we had kind of held that in there for the unknowns. Last year we did cut that down to save 50. And so then maybe that's where then that 50 got put in and then pulled back out. So knowing where we're at, maybe we wanted to try for 100, put the 60 in that we were talking about and put it at 160.
Yeah,
Something easy.
Mary-
Source, that is it.
That's Zell.
Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about miscellaneous,
Almost to the bottom, miss.
9,900.
Oh, gotcha.
So does that make sense, Jill?
160.
Unless, once Mary gets back in here, we'll ask her, because she put that 140 in there.
Yeah, I don't know what the other 40, okay.
Would we have paid for Marvin out of that, or did we do that we did that out of there?
Miss, no. It
That was this.
There's also, just if I look at what's here, line 2-4411, that's had 40,000 plus actual the last 2 years, and there's nothing in the budget.
I'm sorry, I ran with,
Area Agency on Aging,
Oh, okay.
2-4411.
so that's who was here today, so we need
Okay.
to put that in. What did they request?
It's right in there. Right here. 43,319.
Which one is that one?
Here in aging,
4411.
or aging partners.
Area 9, because we did 34.
43. 319. And then probation cost, we put 6,600 for that B grade. There's a different line that we need to put that on, we can move it. We had a question on 140. Did you have any specific reason that went to 140?
No,
Okay.
unless I can go
We,
look at
no,
the budget.
no, we couldn't, so
Yeah,
we're
I
gonna,
don't remember why
we're
I
gonna
put
do that at
140.
160.
160.
Is that gonna catch the public defender fees?
Is the Region 5 correct, the 2-4420?
What all did we fund out of the miss last year?
Region 5, yes.
That number is
The
correct.
28,198, that is without the
That's the statutory
addition.
part.
That's the, but we denied the additional back in June.
Because
Or
we
May.
weren't in budget season yet, was my understanding.
I mean, if we wanted, if that would be up to this board, if they wanted to put that additional for, not quite 5, 4 something, almost 5. The extra that they wanted.
I can find it on
Do
the
that.
email.
What's that?
I don't see that we can add,
Yeah,
do the
I think at this point in time in today's budget, we leave it where it's at. 34,500 Historical Society. That is currently in miscellaneous on the tax rolls. What's everybody's thoughts? That's 34,000 of
It's a one-
tax asks that we could
It's a
pull out
It's a
and
one-time ask.
put on
I
inheritance.
think we put it on inheritance. It's-
That makes sense.
I know that's what we talked about during the meeting, Randy.
I have no problem doing that. When we built the budget, I put
No,
that
that's fine.
here
Yeah.
to just, since it was voter approved, put it here, see what happens. We're in the predicament we're in. I think it makes sense to move it over to inheritance. So 34,500, we're gonna pull out of here and move it to inheritance.
Question, sidebar on that. Did you send that letter?
No, I completely forgot about it.
I wondered with you going on
Yep.
vacation, so.
I was gonna work on one, and then I thought, no, Dan
They
said he would do it, so.
Okay, anything else in miss that anybody sees?
Where do we do like some of our other people that come in and ask for money?
That all comes out.
That's all inheritance.
So there- We're gonna look at that stuff,
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
What you'll see at the bottom now too is the security contract. They had an ask for more wages. That's for the Blue Knight, second floor. It's 2501.
Is the 54.5, that
Oh.
reflects that, okay,
It does.
okay.
Okay, county building. I think that's just in line with what we've already ran it at 100. Last year, we dropped it to 25 to save some, ask. We pulled,
Well, we took out.
authority. What's that?
We took money out of it last year.
Right, but I think we ran it at 75.
Yes, the
We-
original budget was.
Years
75.
before that, we did it 100.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think 75 is probably a good place for now for that one. Okay, that's the 100. Ready to move on to the 300?
So am I looking at this correct right now, or?
Yep.
$1 million under last year's budget?
That's because miscellaneous on this is
Yeah.
off by like almost 2 million.
Yeah, at this point, those numbers are kind of funky.
It's missing
Yeah.
some stuff, yeah. That's what we're trying
Jill.
to fix.
The numbers that Jill sent out are a lot closer than these numbers at this jump.
Carrying this to
Got it.
Okay, road and bridge. Yeah.
Megan. I mean, I'm
You
sure
wanna
she
go
wants
back
to
to-
sit here through the whole thing.
Well, she is on the budget committee. I figured that's why she came
Well,
to
I
listen.
didn't know if she wanted to talk
But
about her
yeah,
budget.
for sure,
later on
for sure. Well,
To review.
Yep.
I was just wondering, I've heard you guys say the cut to 287, I was just wondering what figure you came up with for my clerk that you don't like the raise for.
so that number, let's see, how did we figure that?
60.
Is that the one?
I think, what's that?
Oh, the raise.
What one?
Raise.
$6.
I know you knocked it down.
I took it down $4. I think that's what I gotta believe what number I used. Okay, so what I did was I took, I removed $7,800 from your budget proposed, which by my calculations would take the position that you had at 26 down to 22.
I mean, I kind of figured a number for $23 an hour, and that would be 288.7. Is that kind of meeting in the middle?
Right. Okay.
Did you run the math at 2,000 or 2080?
That was at 1950,
1950.
which is, because they're 13, or 37 and a half.
Just want to make sure you did.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Because that
Um,
might be able to go down. Because if she did the holidays on there.
That is true. The holiday time, how many?
13.
Right, but the number that's entered there, how many employees is that figuring for?
Three.
Right, you look at the compared to last year. Yeah, you're 12
The
rounds
actual.
less. Yeah. Megan, sorry, there was noise in the hallway when you were talking. What were you talking?
Well, I thought if I did $23 an hour, it would figure to 44,850, I think. So that brought my total budget down to up a little bit, 288,700 instead of the 287.
Oh. And would that be a full year at 23 for one?
Well, starting in October technically.
Okay.
Um,
Do you have a thought?
you came to what, 288?
Yeah, 287.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty close to what I had.
Do I need to reconfigure my?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
The only comment that we make towards the raises is the same what we talked about today. We're talking about a current employee that's right at 2050. And, $250 an hour is a real good raise.
Yeah.
And I know you had mentioned you want to have more duties. So in my mind, after they prove that they can handle more duties is when they get rewarded. We don't reward before the duties or, before reward somebody before they get a certificate and then hopes that they get a certificate is the way my mind would work with that. So if you wanted to fluctuate that raise a little bit and then, throughout the year, 6 months in, these more duties came along, then if you had it in your budget, then you could do that. But personally, and I know we can't control that part of it, that's a really nice raise
I would.
in the hopes that you're going to be able to do what I want you to do.
My only argument is that I just lost 2 employees because one, I couldn't pay her what she wanted to get paid,
Right.
which I realized was way over than
Right.
what a normal employee would be. And then the other girl left because she couldn't afford her medical stuff through her insurance. So it's like, I do want to be able to hold these employees I have because I do think that they're worth it. And, I know that we can't take personal things into account, but she's going through a lot of things right now with her husband not working due to medical things. And so it's like she's looking for another job. And I don't want to lose somebody else and lose all that knowledge. So that's my only argument with that.
And unfortunately, what happened, obviously, that you just stated is a couple, kind of out of our control.
Absolutely.
We don't need to go into the details of what, but yeah, they got to make more money. They're working a lot of different hours now too than what we had. So I think like Daniel stated earlier, we got to shoot for this bottom line. Hopefully, he had put in there for 22 is what you put in there
I
for,
believe so, yeah.
which is still $2 an hour raise.
$9, Yeah, she's at what, 2050 now?
Yeah,
So
Or $1.50.
Still,
And in that office, it's 1950, so that's about a 2,500. No, a little bit better than that on an annual basis. Because the dollar would be 1950 and then half again as much. 27, 28. I mean, that, for my ears, that's good. I get your argument, but for my ears, that piece is good. And it's in line with a lot of the other offices that we're asking to be that. So if you can find more in your budget, well, then that's on you. Just don't go over, is all. I mean, so if there's some room in there, somewhere, and the overtime, do we think the overtime's right?
I think so.
The holiday
I think so.
at 9,
I mean, I know.
because what did we figure on that?
Last year's actual 2,
Because we had
so we
13, right?
could maybe
But-
drop.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's your wage that's,
Dictates it.
well, what I'm saying
Right, I
is,
see.
if you're trying to look at the holiday overtime line item, that one is probably going to be more accurate, where it's dropping off based on budget is in the actual salary line item, because your holiday pay is getting moved to there, not the salary.
Right.
So if the employee that's $20.50 per hour at 75 hours, because you're at 7.5 per day, right?
Right.
So 7.5 times 13 holidays is 97.5 hours. So. That did not work.
That's right, at a couple $1,000.
Yeah,
At 2050.
but did you already deduct it, Megan?
Think so.
Because if I take, oh. Right, okay, so, yeah, so then if you took, rather than taking 75 times 26, the 1950, again, if you put that at, because it's 97.5 hours, if you put that at 1850 times 20.50 per hour, you're at 37,925. So your cushion is in the salary line item, not the
Not the holiday.
holiday overtime line item.
Anybody else have thoughts on how?
I guess I like the idea of, I like Rick's idea,
Mhm.
just starting lower and then having those conversations that, hey, if we can make it a team effort and if I can pay it more throughout the year, great, because we're in our budget.
So I need to take that money out, but then give her a raise later.
Right, so basically, if we stay at the 87, 287, that gives you the ability to give her a raise now, something, not as much as you wanted,
Yeah.
but then say after the first of the year, everything's going smooth, you'll probably have saved some in there to be able to bump her up a little bit more.
If you'd like to.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So I
you give her the $1.50 right now.
So I just need to reduce her.
Give her a 50-cent raise now, and then later give her another 50-cent raise.
No, you should be able to do
You
that.
should do the $1.50 now
Now,
and then look for that next 50 cents throughout the year. You're doing better on your budget.
a
And there's,
$2 raise.
say, postage or pick a line item. You're well under that, you can calculate that raise out through that fund and reallocate that money to a wage instead of a different line item.
Okay. I won't disagree, but I do understand that everything is collected. You guys are looking at it as a whole. I just know that there's other offices that are way out of line. And I feel like I'm coming in way under. So I I get it. And I don't
Sure.
wanna be, you know,
No, I hear you.
any one way or the other about it, but it's just frustrating.
Right, and it does come down to, I mean, we have significantly cut, budgets upstairs so that the ability for raises up there is a lot less than it has been in the past. So that will hopefully help
Start evening it out.
level some things out. Yeah, for now, let's run with that and kind of see where we end up.
Megan, I think that what has kind of forced our hands this year too is the fact that we have went on somewhat of good faith asking for parity, and that hasn't panned out. So, now we're just having to go to that bottom line and saying, you can't make it work, so, because we have to look at those line items, but we can't mess with them, but we still have to look at them and add them up. And you fell behind, but then on the other side, I don't feel bad about $1.50,
No,
because that's
I get it.
that's good.
It is good. Right?
And I know that there was isolated incidents about the health insurance, but overall, our health insurance is pretty good. And, unfortunately, if you're that one person, it kind of sucks for a little bit. But that's going to happen a lot of places too. So we came in at the 280. You have that number, Jill?
280, well, you guys initially said 287.
Okay.
Right, that,
Megan's adjusted number, adjusted,
right.
was 288.7.
It's real close.
That was at the 23, right?
Maybe.
Is that right?
I don't,
Like, did I write that right?
$1,000, I could probably say, give her a little extra credit.
After all this,
288, but I'm just one person.
I would agree with the 288.
I think that's fine. Let's adjust that to 288.
288.
She's
Okay.
in her willingness to adjust the personnel in her office, down a person. And not, I commend you for not giving us too much grief for asking you to do that. And so.
We don't know what she's thinking.
Well, I know.
I get it. I really do. That's the thing. That's the most frustrating thing about me is that I do understand all the sides.
Right.
So
So if that gives you a little bit more cushion to play with that.
I appreciate that, guys.
I would just make sure that their merit,
Matches.
give a task, if that task is working out and it's helping you and everything's working, then that's when the merit comes in. It doesn't come, from the front side as much. It's the only thing I'm trying to say. So
Yeah.
I think that's the right way to do it.
Thank you.
No, we're not getting out of here.
That's okay. I've already gotten some cryptic note from my husband.
Cryptic.
He's on his way.
He's been down in the inventory. Evidence.
Number 300, road and
We're
bridges.
gonna spend road rush the budget talk with the evidence.
Good, be a lot
With
more
all the-
interesting.
Just the smell alone.
Yeah.
probably-
That's what I was wondering, what you were looking.
Okay,
Oh,
personnel, we might have a little bit of wiggle here.
300.
The regular time salary admin, that one is a shot in the dark. It's hard to know what to put in that line. It's bumped up from where we were. We could lower it down to what last year's budget was. It's all in
I'm sorry.
who we end
I
up
don't
getting
know where you
hired.
are. But
300.
300 bucks.
Daniel,
Yeah,
we need to
It's
just
only
take
down.
Yes. So I mean, I
Where
was
we're-
already at the bottom, I thought.
Yep.
Just go past. it.
Yep.
We're already, what,
Yeah. So I thought I was-
by the time we approve this, we'll be 3 months in, so there's
Yep.
3 months.
Let's
There's at
see,
least 2 months.
I'm sorry.
There's 2 months. now.
Page 40.
Correct.
Will that help right here?
Well, and then the
Either way, I
fact
can
that
see
he
it.
had, like we talked about the other day, he had, a licensing.
Correct, yeah, it's all,
So
it's a shot in the
this
dark
is-
for
yeah,
someone
so
who,
it could be somebody that doesn't
40,
have an A
I'm better.
license.
Binder?
right, and it could
300,
be
yep,
somebody that
good.
it takes 120 to get,
Right.
you know, I mean, it's a shot in the dark, so,
So, sorry,
yeah.
catching up with the conversation.
Uh,
The wages that we talked about today, are any of them coming out of 301?
No.
And do they all fit in 303?
Say,
The
all
raises
of,
and the
yeah.
wages that we talked about, the roads department today, do they all fit in 303?
with the exception of the, clerk regular time down below,
Okay,
so that's the 2 gals in the front office,
so that's one of the 2 wages we bumped up today.
yes,
Because we haven't replaced, there's just Ashley and Mary, right?
yes,
2. Okay, so they're in
both of those,
305.
correct,
And the new wages fit that number.
correct.
Okay.
My,
And
I'm backpedaling a little bit because we did adjust one of those,
a fair amount.
after this, so that probably is,
That's not correct.
right, so that probably needs to be adjusted slightly.
The 304's also got 3 employees in it that are not currently on the payroll.
Well, it's got more than, so, it's got more than that, I think we can cut a little bit out of it, but, 305 probably needs to go. I actually think it's okay. I really think it's okay if we leave it at 104, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. So now if we look at maintenance full-time, what I was trying to find was a spreadsheet that had a total. I don't know.
Total of pages paid out per hour, or?
Yeah, so after adjustment, this is really close. I think it was 988 was the last one I saw. Then we're down 4 positions. If you figure, what's our starting wage?
20.
20. So 20
Maybe
times
22.
4.
'Cause one of them, at least one of them's gonna be a higher wage than that.
$20 and what?
$22, just figure 22
For all of them?
as an average, yeah.
Okay.
One's gonna be, one if we get hired, maybe a $30 an hour employee. Or high.
So if we figured 4 positions at 22, at 2,000 hours, and added that to the budgeted raise wage, that would be a number for 303 at $1,164,000. So that is in what is in the budget. $140,000. There's $140,000 more in the budget than if we say we're down 4 positions.
Are we actively trying to fill those positions?
The 4 position, yes. So,
I can't budget for them.
so I think we would be fine pulling 140 out of that number. Or 120,
Sure.
or I really feel comfortable that we could pull at least 120 out of that.
I'd say we pull 125 out. Just for-
I kind of tried to talk through there, I was talking kind of fast, but does it make sense how I got to those numbers?
So if you look at that line item and then going back to the one above it, you know, that's obviously still an active position that we're looking for, but yet we haven't had anybody apply for it, you know, in a fair amount of time. And we do have somebody that is kind of tests for it, but there should be some room in that one too, shouldn't there? You know, because even if the test was successful, being the first year with just a B, and then that would lower one of the other ones then too. But we would probably fill it in, but we wouldn't fill it in with $33 an hour person.
100%,
So to me,
Oh, yeah.
there should be some room in all of those to do just a little bit more than your 120.
I would be comfortable taking the top line down to 80, not knowing what we don't know today. Having a good feeling on what we know today, but not knowing.
So there'd be 10 and then your 125.
Taking 120 out of the next one.
Holiday, we feel pretty good on that. It looks like it's consistent with
I
what
think,
was
right,
actual.
Okay, so you're talking 80 on 301,
80 on 301.
okay, and if I take 100, because I heard 125, if I take 125 off of the 1.3,
Yep.
that takes it to 1,179,752.
Yes.
179,
Yeah,
where did you get the?
752.
You can put 120,
Oh,
Andy added 5.
Well, the 164 is taking 140.
so we're not gonna pull 120,000, we're gonna pull how much out of the second?
125.
125.
Thoughts on clerical regular time, setting that at 100? Is that too
You could do 95.
conservative?
Currently, if you look at the 33, with the holiday taken out of there, it's 65. What was the other one?
What'd you
Where was the other wage at? Was it 20 or 21?
Where are we going?
Where was the second clerk wage at? One was 33.
Everyone was
22.
I told you, Dan, it would be much easier to figure this out.
That's 110,000.
Agreed to that plan.
For the two wages.
Sorry.
22 times 2,000 and 33 times 2,000 is a total of 110.
For the clerk wage.
Whatever those are.
Okay.
All right.
One person at $22 an hour times 2,000 hours.
And that's without the holiday.
Yes,
back out.
one person at $33 an hour for 2,000 hours. The
Probably
total
have
of
to leave
those
it
two
there.
together is 110.
We can see if we can have an executive session about it.
Well, we're not setting the budget today.
I would say leave the words out. right
Yep.
now.
I don't think it's that big of a flux.
Right. I think most of everything else is pretty consistent until we get down into the capital.
Right.
Well, you'll have a little bit, likely you'll have some savings in your retirement and FICA.
Right,
We
because
can
we can cut
recalc
some of that
those.
position money out.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll recalc that.
I know what I think we need to do on this machinery and equipment new line item. We didn't get that far yesterday, David.
I know. So this one has that 500, if we could go clear down, we've got the 500 transfer back out. So we have to put that in here to have that authority. It doesn't affect the
Tax ask.
tax ask
Because
because
it's
it's,
sitting there.
we have that in there in the fund.
Okay.
So I think we leave, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we need to start having the motor graders reflected in this budget. We've been paying for them out of the inheritance, but I think that a transfer from inheritance into road and bridge to cover whatever the expenditure is of the motor grader is a better reflection of what the road budget needs to be.
And my 2 cents on the motor grader thing as a whole, if we keep buying one a year the way we've been buying, we will continue our death spiral on our fleet. We have to look at something new. Now, 350 we have in there, I think is the right number to have budgeted. But talk about what Fillmore County did, they went and bought 5 and they financed them. Just the machine discount, per machine discount, it was 30 grand on machining. They didn't pay over 320 for the virtually the exact same machine we just bought this year for 367.
Yeah, it was 40 something.
That was after trade too.
Correct.
Their total purchase price for this machine was not, the 320 is not a trade, that was an outright purchase number. So we're talking $60,000 in discounts. Now, flip side, they're paying they're financing them, so there's an interest bill associated. Another side of that too is on all those machines for the life of their expected, if they keep the plan, they won't pay anything except oil changes and tires and bits, because all the maintenance are gonna be covered in the plan that they purchased alongside those graders. Now, Randy, you made a valid point. This works as long as the board stays intact. This year would be the year to try that, to put that plan in motion, because we will get through a full cycle of paying for those while this board's still intact, if we would go that route. We all start a new 4-year term, January 1.
3.
3 of us do. The majority of the board will stay intact. So I think we leave the 350 in there. I don't want to change that number. My guts and all the preliminary math, total savings, I think we're well north of 125,000 that we could take off this budget next year. Going down that path. Our another big line item that you'll see, no, I can't find it. The repairs line item. Shoot, I just know, I know on 2 fixes alone this year on 2 motor graders, we spent over 100,000. So if you can eliminate, now the first cycle you won't eliminate all those, you still have half your fleet, that whole bucket. But once you cycle through.
So then is it the board of the future that has to then do this again?
Sure.
The lifespan of all these pieces will be the same.
But they will have the complete blueprint of how the
Right.
first thing went.
Yeah.
And the nice thing with the way we're tracking, we can track that expense throughout this, knowing, okay, these 5 machines cost us virtually zero on repairs and maintenance. This is just savings we're gonna expect to see on the next flip.
So is the plan to trade them
We trade them all, yeah.
when the warranty
Yeah.
comes?
Trade them
or
in
expires?
7 years when the warranty runs out.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, we'd still be making a payment every year, but instead of the 360 plus, theoretically it might be 200 a year payment. Then we'll see where we fall with the repairs and maintenance on it too. I wish I had the numbers and the exact figures, but it's a lot to put together from this. And we finally started getting some good numbers literally 3 weeks ago.
I just actually want to went over there, one of the Fillmore County Commissioners was in my shop waiting for me to come do something. for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and, we just talked about it. You know, he's nervous.
Sure, it's
You know-
it's a big perk.
So Fillmore's who did it.
Yeah,
Who's done it already.
For a different reason, you know, this board did it back in '05. And it didn't work because it probably wasn't followed through with. And we, you know, so then we had these 5 machines that were getting old on us and we just got rid of one actually a year or so ago. It seemed like we had one hanging around yet. But- So we're just gonna have to have more numbers.
There's one more left.
Is there one more left out there?
21 years old, from 2005.
It was '05, I think. wasn't it?
5 or
06?
15.
Was it?
15, that's 15 years old, I believe.
Well, when
No.
Harvey came in, yeah. when-
Cause I was
I
here
bet
in
it
16,
I bet it was 2005 because Harvey came in and he said all of the equipment were the same age and they were
yeah,
old.
it's been a while.
And he came here in what, 2018?
Yeah,
Just gotta have more conversation. You know,
yeah.
obviously, there's gotta be more education, more,
The
like,
350 is a good number for today, but I'm not gonna be for continuing that past this year. I honestly hope
For
that
the one
350,
purchase.
yeah, I really think that 350s can be will be drastically lower, put it that way.
so that doesn't address the 225, or 220, yeah, 225.
225, 550. So that is it, from my understanding, it's a tractor,
Shredder.
shredder, and a trailer. And
All brand new equipment.
Yes.
so I really think we need to get another tractor. What we have out there is pretty bad.
What I would like to see this board buy is a tractor and a shredder. We've got at least one more round of equipment sales that I would foresee funding the trailer if funds come in at that point.
Right.
We've got an old trailer, we've got a number of old things we need to get rid of. And the other thing we're looking at out there, we've got the D9, so we've got a
Yeah,
big dozer and a big scraper that literally do nothing, that's still got some significant value.
yeah,
So
we,
maybe, honestly, we might be able to sell all that stuff and fund all this.
right. I agree, they're sitting there doing nothing. I worry about getting rid of them in the event that we're like, we should have had that for this project. I don't know.
We don't have anyone to do the project right now.
True. True. Very
Who
true.
you sell it to for
Yep.
a month.
Yeah, exactly,
I
exactly.
mean, the things we're finding out there since we've been doing things like hauling gravel straight to the road versus piling it, the savings on that is huge. I mean, typically we run 5 trucks every day up and down the road hauling gravel. We've been hauling 2. And when those guys typically haul them, they're hauling from stockpiles. We've got a stockpile. We're paying someone to haul it there and dump it. Then we push it up. Then we take it off the pile. We go put it in our truck so we can continue hauling to our markets. We can't get away from stockpiles, but doing what we've done in the past is ludicrous at best. We've got more miles done this year than we've got in a lot of years. And a lot of the times going directly to the roads is as cheap as going to our piles. So we're saving a whole handle. Actually, we're saving 2. We're saving an unload and a reload.
So the breakdown on that 225 is,
Unfortunately, I don't have those numbers. I was gonna text Greg and I didn't do it. 20, I believe, for the trailer.
24 for the trailer. I believe somewhere in the 55,000 neighborhood for the shredder, and 100 and.
And then would be for
whatever's left, 100, gosh dang
So 75, so about 150,
it, yes.
because we got about 75 there in the first numbers.
Right.
So we can take 75 off of that line item.
Not necessarily.
65, it would just be the trailer, right?
And those would be, once again, those would be one-time purchases, but as we talk and as we go through and say, we're gonna use inheritance, and then all of a sudden we're using
Out of the inheritance.
$700,000-800,000 into inheritance.
But back to talking about the gravel hauling, right now, we've had 3 trucks that have been on the road all year and trailers. Maybe, I don't know, I get confused in the budget authority. The numbers still have to be in there, correct? We just need to put some backside as funds.
To fund it, if we put the numbers in here, we either have to fund it with, property tax or with
we do.
inheritance.
Right.
Or some other revenue source.
Or some
Or
other
sale.
revenue source, right.
Yeah, if you're selling equipment, then if you're really committed
Right,
to
if we
doing
really-
that, then we should budget something for that
Right.
revenue as an offset.
Right,
So
that
I
is
think
true.
this is one piece, we need to go back out and have another serious conversation about, 'cause we've talked about it a lot, but okay, this is the final plan. Speak now or forever hold peace on this, because this is what we're gonna do.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
I mean, with what they want to do out there, but obviously it's got to be with the 5-year.
Well, what I'm saying is give them the last opportunity for argument before 5 of us here.
Because with those pieces, with the tractor, like say they're all brand new, is the shredder done to, you say the tractor's junk, is it?
We've got a shredder that's working. They like, it does, with one, it takes a while to get over the roads that we want to
So second,
get
this
over.
would be a
This would be
secondary.
a secondary one.
Being run by this tractor, is the other tractor still okay to run?
The other
first
tractor.
We would keep one, we've got 2 tractors, one would go away. Another one of the old shredder's virtually a scrap iron. We've always had 2. We've got by using one in the tree shredder last year. Now they got to switch the tree shredder blades over, which isn't the end of the world, but that's not what that machine was built for, and it's very hard with that machine. So shredder's way cheaper than that tree arm too.
Okay,
So I would see that we could, at this time, we could cut that down to 200. If we feel like we need to cut something out of here right
well,
now.
we could leave it in there if legitimate, like Jill's brought up, legitimate revenue replacement to say, yeah, we think we're gonna sell this, we think we're gonna make 20,000,
Yeah.
then leave it in there, and if it happens, it happens, you got it, if it doesn't,
Right, I see what you're saying, yep,
You-
rather
If you
than,
generate the
Yep.
revenue,
if you
then
generate
purchase
the
it.
revenue,
If you
yep.
don't, then
That is
Don't
very
buy it.
true. We can
Revenue first.
offset it on the backside with the sale. So for now, let's do that. We will have that conversation before we finalize this budget, and then we can tweak that if we need to.
They can't go out and buy until they've had a
Right.
sale.
I mean, we kind of screwed up last year, because we had the revenue, but we had nothing to expend against it, so it just went back to our general. What we should have done, knowing what I know today, is we probably should have at least bought the trailer and shredder with that revenue.
well, it should have went into 300.
I
It's in the 300.
that's why you have that, that's why you have that.
So that revenue didn't go into the 300?
I think
it
You
should.
guys-
I think-
oh, okay, I was gonna say.
But we could
should
spend it.
So there's a reserve account for these accounts that you're saying when you pull it out of. I'll learn them.
Which piece? Inheritance is the inheritance fund, and we've just kind of used that, so it's unrestricted funds.
Right.
So that we can transfer in if we want to. On the back, so what we're going through so far here is all the expenditures. that every one of these that we've gone through today has a backside with a revenue. And so some of those funds, receive revenue, others do not, and so then those are just purely funded with property taxes. So on this 300, what we were talking about with the, sale of the, tractors and trucks and stuff last year, that when we were going through the budget process, we didn't budget for
We
that.
had a sale last year.
We had a sale, we
Made
did
money
not
and
budget
never-
the revenue.
Okay.
So that revenue just went into the roads fund, which just helps build up that net balance.
That's what I'm asking, what is the roads fund? Is that another fund that is separate
Correct.
from
So,
the property tax money?
No, not separate from the property tax money, but in the budget, it's separate. So, like all the, most all of the courthouse operates under the 100 fund. And so then each office has their own function. But then as you get into the broader, bigger items, so like the roads, they operate separately. So then they have their own fund, which is the 300 fund.
So their money,
It's still
Stays
all
within
property
that.
tax money.
okay.
Well, it's not all property tax money.
We transfer
yes.
money into their fund,
Yes.
those interfund
That winds up
transfers
being-
that happen every month,
Okay,
that's the general fund funding the road fund.
okay.
But
The property tax fund's about half of the road fund, if you want a big round number. The rest of it comes from their highway allocation money. From the,
So they have a revenue
And-
source that's specific to what they do.
Yes, and then they charge for fuel, they charge other departments for fuel.
Oh, sure.
So then the other departments, that's some of
That's a
their
transfer
income,
of
that's
100
kind of
into
like
300.
another wash.
Sure, okay, thank you.
Same way with Lori and her 2,200 fund and her
Oh, yeah.
1,300 fund.
And was Gary some of his county attorney?
Gary is the child support, the
that's the only one.
0985 fund.
we may have
Okay.
inadvertently, Andy, do you remember the amount of what you sold last year, roughly?
It wasn't huge, yeah.
Like 20 or 30?
Probably.
Okay, because
My
last year's
recollection.
actual sale of supplies was up $30,000. It was just over 100,
Okay.
and when we ran through the revenue,
Mhm.
we budgeted 90. So we may have, depending on what you're thinking,
Okay.
you might be able to sell. We may have already budgeted
Okay.
part of that in what we increased the sale of supplies numbers.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
already, some of it's already.
Possibly. Yeah.
So just think through what your total might be if
Yep.
you're looking at an offset.
To sell the old shredder and the old.
There's a lot of stuff still.
Okay, so,
Okay, so we haven't really adjusted
we'll-
down much more than just,
yeah,
but we've also
wages,
talked about
but I think we do want to
Replacing.
put in a 350 transfer from inheritance.
at least, if not.
Right.
It's 350 would be net of trade, which we would if we
Yep.
did.
You're saying 350,000 from inheritance for the motor
Yes.
grader?
Yes.
So here it is. It's just the list.
And we're doing the same thing as the sheriff's department. They'll pay it out of their budget, we'll just transfer the money into the general fund.
Okay, highway buyback program,
Yeah, I want to talk about that one, but
Okay.
bear
I
with
got
me.
interesting.
wanna take a break?
I have
Okay, let's do it.
So-
Never tried it with pickles, now I'm gonna try it.
Okay, let's keep it. Okay, bridge bypass.
Okay, so I don't know where the revenue numbers came from, but those are not the projected, those are not the state projected revenue numbers.
Okay,
Which I just, so that's why I'm like, I'm not just changing them, but
Yep.
they need to change.
Yep.
The,
So I didn't know if there was something else that was being anticipated or where we got those.
Not that I'm
Where
aware
you
of.
yeah, I don't,
I just put in the numbers that the roads department, you guys figured out, was it you and?
So,
She
What do you-
had the people.
So I've got, according to the state projections, there would be 148,326.86 of street buyback and 73,294.20 of bridge buyback. So that 221,000,
on the revenue side.
yes, on the revenue side is a really big.
So it's 73,290,
294.20,
and that would be from the state.
that's the state projection, yes,
Is that per pay? Because we get multiple.
per year,
Per
for
year.
the year.
And then what was the other?
The
amount?
street one is 148,326.86. So that one isn't far off. So I'm like, was there something else that they've been
Right.
told they're getting or,
Well,
but I don't know what else it would be.
I'll just
So-
call Ash.
That is correct. She wanted to come back, unfortunately, had a whole bunch of her
Hi,
trees on.
Yeah, I remember.
sorry, question on highway bridge buyback. So we're looking at the revenue numbers. And what Jill has found for projection is different than what we put in there. Did you know something that we don't on the projected income, revenue on the highway
It's the
bridge
bridge.
buyback? Okay. Yep. Sure, no, and, yep. Okay, and you did, okay, yep, that's kind of what I thought, and I don't know where we came up with these other numbers, so we'll adjust them accordingly. So, well, on the revenue side, because what you did, right, on the, yeah, that was just the fund balance. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay, very good. All right, we'll make the adjustments. Okay. Yep. Okay, perfect, yep. Okay, so I don't know where those numbers
Okay, so we'll just
actually
take them back
came
with
from.
what, okay.
And so we need to take them to what we found as the projected.
Yep.
And
So
then
it
do
winds up
we,
being this. That winds up being the total.
okay,
So I'm good with what I
Right.
had
and so then,
after we met. So we just need to have, I just need to have Mary fix hers so they match this.
okay, and then on the expense
Same
side,
thing.
do we need to just
Yeah, it'll have to
adjust?
match. So,
Right.
but again, mine should,
Okay,
What was your total again?
my total, 891, 840, 61.
That's with the net fund
Revenue.
balance and
That's
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 revenue.
with, that's like the total expenditures. That's the authority.
891.
So 670, 219.55
right.
plus 200, oh, that's what happened. 221,000 total, roughly.
aha,
So
that, yep,
it's about 221,000 total revenue. Gets us to the 81.
So that number right here is 148 off.
Yes, roughly,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, so Mary and I'll match up those numbers.
Okay.
So that one should be good then.
Truancy is 0.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Considering this new fund, the 667
Oh,
and
that's-
the
yeah, yep, sorry.
676.
Yep.
So here's my issue. The 676 does not include that $20,000 cash reserve.
It has to.
It has to. Yes, so, which, right, the understanding was it was just the timing of the grant revenue coming in. But is that some of that now split in these other funds? No. Okay,
That stays in the.
If I put the cash reserve in there, it doesn't balance.
correct. They've got to increase their grant
They
revenue.
have to increase the grant
If the,
revenue. Okay.
if the deficit fund balance was created because they didn't get last year's revenue in like they were supposed to, then it should be coming in this year
Right,
to fix that.
so,
So you're gonna operate the 664 and the 667 funds with 0 cash reserve?
apparently it's gonna run like the adult diversion, where they'll get,
And I don't have the names for them, but the one is not, there's not even any funds for it.
Okay,
we
that's
won't
the
find,
one-
the
we
grant
won't
hasn't
find
been awarded.
that out until
Okay.
November.
Okay,
That's the larger one, that's the $500,000 one that they may not get.
okay. Okay, so then you're good with the 664 and the 667. But we gotta fix the 676 to increase that revenue by $20,000 to get the cash reserve back in, because that's the county's money that should be held in there. Okay,
And that was supposed to be coming back in, if it hasn't already, it was supposed to be coming back in really soon.
Okay.
The big money from,
Oh,
we
yeah.
were behind on.
Yes, yes. Taylor emailed us that last week that there was money coming in. That was missed. But we still have to repay the overage that was. Have we figured that out yet?
But I think she just requested
Requested
less
less.
the next time.
I don't think anything's been done yet. I
No,
don't think she has
the
an
only,
answer yet.
right, the only email I have is that she said, I'm going to request less this time around. That's all I am going off of.
None at all, because she's,
Right. So I don't know what kind of, I mean, basically they're budgeting what they can get in what they've been awarded, and what they can spend out of their grants.
well, that
So,
one hasn't been awarded yet. They
Right.
don't know.
I just went to one.
And she already wants,
no, that was the one that we needed to,
needed
we
to
called
do
her
the
on.
revenue.
So that actually is like 8 something.
So here's my question,
Down
if they haven't been
140,000.
granted, if they haven't been awarded that grant, should they even start, even if we do decide, yep, we're gonna open up this fund, should she even code out of that?
No.
Until, yeah,
Absolutely not. There's
until
no
she
funds in there.
gets,
Right.
until she gets money.
Well, the money will come in after it's expended,
Correct.
but she's have a letter stating
It's
the grant's been awarded.
Correct, but I was just saying, she brought in a sheet, a pay sheet for Cheryl, and it was being taken out of
No,
one of,
no.
And
Did we
we're
didn't do
like,
that this year?
oh no,
payroll,
because
did
we haven't approved it. We
Right.
haven't coded it out, but I was just wondering, she shouldn't even be
She's
coding
just
out
getting that set
of
up in the
the
system.
grant that she is not, no, she wanted it paid out this time. And we said no, because those funds are not created yet.
Correct.
We can do a journal entry later to correct. But if she's not awarded,
Right, then it's easy. Then she can't,
Yeah,
she don't have
she can't.
access to
Yeah.
any of that.
If they're spending and they don't get the award,
then they can't
Right.
spend the money.
So, yeah,
but they
I-
won't,
we need to,
They-
that will be a conversation we need to
Yeah.
have with Taylor.
Do you have anything else, Jill?
Not on, no, I'm good through 676.
Should we decide on the funds after they're awarded the grant?
You can't budget authority for it if you get it, if you don't set up a fund.
If we don't set up the fund now?
So you'd have to amend your budget.
Okay,
I mean, otherwise it just falls to,
so we're gonna,
it falls to your office and it falls to this board to ensure that they don't, that you don't pay any claims out
out of
of
those.
those funds or
Until
fund
those
or
funds.
whatever it
Right.
is. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Mary, it falls to,
Mhm.
your office is the first line of defense.
Yeah, which,
And the board as the
second,
oversight.
Okay, now the 985, we got there.
Yes. I
And
said
so-
my piece on that one.
Yes, you do.
Yep. 990, visitors promo. Basically just visitors, fund balance and a projected a little bit of what we think might come in.
Guesstimated on revenue and zeros.
And those revenue estimates are both underneath the prior 2 years actual, so not being super aggressive.
I
Especially
assume,
with the addition of rooms out there.
I assume the $1,000 in admin part-time is just so that if we need to contract with somebody, we can.
And then it's just billing out the budget,
Right.
putting numbers in to get to that zero.
So then the next one, probably, I mean, again, it's just numbers, but we probably need to adjust.
Yeah, that's, here, give me a second, because something flagged that for some reason.
using visitors improvement and
What are you talking about, $100,000?
Right.
talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, so that really needs to be broke, I mean, in my mind, I think, and I really don't know why it was put in that way, but, the, intern should be under
Publicity.
admin part-time, right? And so, I calculated 10,500, where I came from that number at.
For the part-time,
Yeah.
$20 an hour.
$20 an hour at $15 or 15 hours a week. 15,600 is what it actually should be.
back, okay, instead
Um,
of 10.5, so it'll be 16, I'll just put it in as 16.
yeah, that's fine. And then if we go with what was talked about, that'd be 54,600 at the, if we do 2,000 hour. 2,000 hours, yeah.
So we will need to put
We'll have to add up.
another 40,000 into the expenses somehow.
Correct.
No, just deduct it though. Are you putting this in 995 or, I mean, you're not changing your net number. right?
Correct. No, just
So,
995, 300. We could set it 50, what'd you say, 55,000.
Okay,
We have 55,000 and then 10401 is 16,000.
So that
Okay.
took some of that.
okay, so then, yeah, I think it's just plugged in,
Just
it's
distributed.
plugged in the capital construction grants, we just offset
Make it
and just
even.
make it balance.
Rod, mod,
Reappraisal.
organization.
Reappraisal.
1,100.
Yeah.
Did I skip it?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh.
I had down just an even $100,000 transfer. Are we doing
And then that,
rather than 100,000, 151.36?
makes
Well, I
sense.
don't, what do you,
what,
I can go
And then
either way, I just need to match up.
then
my
that
stuff.
balanced with the expenditures of what?
243,
688.
688, I mean, it's.
So,
Do you want to transfer an odd dollar amount?
No.
I didn't think so.
so on the revenue side, you did a I'm sorry.
Just change the 100, 151.36 to 100,000. And then your expense, rather than 243,688, is 243,536.64.
$566.44.
536.64.
Oh, yeah, because we were gonna increase that by 25,000. The,
Yeah, it just went to an even 100, yeah.
Okay. Now, Rod,
Yep.
Now you can.
preservation and modernization.
Could we cut 20 out of this?
This is actually a
This is
sinking
just-
fund,
Yeah.
I think. I don't know, are we transferring anything into it? It's
No,
just
this
money
is just
that-
the
Net
money
fund
that
balance.
that gets collected through that special fee.
it makes.
It's restricted money.
Yeah, it's restricted. It's, my budget is what's the
Fund balance.
fund balance
Plus a little
plus what it could make.
1,200, we said no changes, right?
Yep, we're just carrying through, that's for,
1275 doesn't exist. Okay. Bear with me a second, because there was something on aging.
Revenue side or expenditure
I
side?
can't remember.
I know if.
No, it might be, it might have gotten fixed. It might have gotten fixed.
We was gonna, on the revenue side of things,
We were talking about the meals, right?
right, we lowered that.
Yeah, I see it. I think that's what it. Now,
So what's the
Again.
official salary in this one?
half of,
Lori,
Lori's.
Didn't spend anything. Are we transferring out of it?
that is interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it got
Oh,
coded
but-
under the admin reg time.
Oh, yes. You're correct.
Yeah, it got coded out of there. I will have Cheryl.
We just move it one way or the other, whichever is.
Yeah, whichever is what we have it budgeted.
So this is one we talked about this morning, our interfund transfer of 102,948. If that stands, we probably need to do a transfer at the next meeting, a quarter of that to get it across.
Do you want to transfer an odd dollar amount? Or given that
No,
it's,
we don't have to.
I'm just saying, given that it's like $52 for me.
Right.
Shall we just round that to 103 and we can put the rest in miscellaneous?
Good.
1,500? Yeah, I'm good. That one is.
And just left her the
These
same.
we typically do those odd amounts, but.
State institutions, we upped that to kind of reflect what we actually did yet last year. And then we went just a little bit more to give us some cushion. Veterans Aid, we talked about that one kind of.
Yeah.
Opioid, we need to probably figure out what we could use that on.
Busy wheels.
2,200.
Oh,
So we
okay.
got the vehicle coming out of it.
It's up because of that 50,000.
Yes.
Yeah. And we'll fix that with right now that 50,000 is sitting in miscellaneous, but it's really a transfer.
It's a transfer.
Yeah, so that'll get fixed.
Now can we go?
It's up to you, you're trying to get out of here.
You're just gonna do every other time.
Yeah, right.
Did you
Opioid
get
is
any
just the,
confirmation on what you can use this for?
no, we need to make some calls. I suppose that's,
I mean, you've got the authority, to just make
Right.
sure, again, make sure it gets,
Yeah, we need to look at really what we can spend this money on. Like Jill said, contact the state to,
Well, it needs to be.
you were gonna
fed.
talk to Nate, right?
Yeah.
Big there.
Feds can tell us what we can do.
there's,
well, they've already told
there's
us
somebody
what
at
we can
Region
do.
5, I've got the name somewhere.
We can give it to Region 5. So,
Yeah, we don't
it
have,
just keeps growing, we haven't touched
Give
it.
it to them and then they give it back to us unrestricted and we
Right.
can just spend it on whatever.
well, like,
Nothing like a little laundering.
You said it, you used the term.
Auditor, we catch that.
Yeah.
we can spend it on.
She's here, you
I
know,
know.
and so.
She's part of the plan.
Right, exactly.
I did not.
I think she's worried that we're
Because
getting
it
ourselves
does
in
come
deeper.
from the state.
So they cannot choose on anything involving current needs.
That's what's.
2360
The first half of
just
that
in
plan,
and
I'm
out.
sure would work just
Yeah.
fine.
Uh,
It's the second
Where
half that.
these,
2390.
390.
They didn't.
And they still didn't budget any revenue, right?
No. So, I mean,
From-
and they had
Yeah, it
the
doesn't.
opportunity to do it, they didn't.
it's nice to
Agree,
chat with
that's why I
her
wondered
and
if we could go
see
get
what
the
she can tell you about the
Yeah,
opioid funds.
And of course, 2410 is just,
That's what I.
Thank
What they had,
If
the
it's
beginning balance,
over-
2410 and 2411 is just,
and 2412 and 2413,
right.
so,
because we can't budget revenue.
Yes, that's part of it as well.
And COVID's gone, 2580.
The last time I looked at COVID, there was $1 million extra in there.
Oh, really?
They told me I couldn't spend it.
Didn't spend it.
Twenty-five eighty-five is LATCF.
But
It's
yeah,
gonna
I
be
totally
gone.
agree with you. Some of those cases, I even.
You
asked
have
for
plans for it?
some
So,
of
yeah.
these
Okay.
Continue to buy
and he's-
Yeah,
computers.
computers this year and it'll be gone.
Did that, but what you budgeted out of data processing is plus
and above.
okay, all right,
Wow.
good enough.
Yep.
2601 is just
Nice
mock up,
little,
yeah.
yeah, it's just a little bit to clean up any past collections.
We did put on 2605, we did put money in there, just in case
You had that, yeah, I had
any got
just,
returned, you know, from
Yeah.
sales of homes or something.
yeah, I had just put it on the, rather than the grant, I put it on that refund line item on my
Okay.
side, so we can.
On the
Debt
we can swap.
services.
No, 2605. Just in case, it was
We're
just to
past
have the, it's
We
just to
kept
have the
going.
authority.
There's 2605.
Don't need Daniel, Randy's over here.
I
Yeah.
put,
You're
I
right,
put
there's
ten
one
Yeah.
that's
thousand
got somewhere.
Well, these-
miscellaneous
no, these are-
expenses,
Yes,
She
and
moved
then
it.
10,000 in.
not on the grant line, put it on
Put
that
on the
refund line.
miscellaneous, okay.
Just in
Yeah.
case something came back
Is that,
off of those owner rehab.
No, it's on the
results.
federal grant,
You know, we
right?
get
It's on the
money
federal
funded
grant,
back to
yeah.
us, and if we didn't put something in here to expend
Oh,
out,
sure, sure.
if something came in, then we'd have to keep it till next year.
Right, so that's on the revenue side, we just said.
Yeah.
It's just a
offset
switch
everything.
line.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright,
That's all.
2700,
Now,
here's the, what,
if Melanie got it.
I know, she should have stuck around. Okay, so these are, so now we're into inheritance. So this first page is the funding request, budget requests. So what is put in there is what they requested. And so what is your thoughts and wishes on what we want to do?
Well, we've got to add historical association to that list.
Yep. Yep.
Somewhere, I mean, there's,
Yeah.
There are,
More
multiple
pages.
places,
Yeah.
but we do need to add,
I might do it in the specialized programs, the 780, the 2700, 780 instead of the 970 or 910 or 816.
I think that makes sense.
But we do have a library in, well, that's
Yeah, but
library.
it's called library.
So is this the appropriate time for me to make a case
absolutely.
for the Region 5 additional
Oh,
ask?
sure.
I know earlier we said we turned it down when, but it didn't make it into the budget book at all. I think it at least needs to be there and then we can cut it, but I don't want to cut it. I think
Sure.
that if they provide a service that serves us, but I could be wrong. So I did find the message where
okay,
they asked, we have the 28,198, which is statutory funds that we must do, is in our budget. But then they asked for an additional $4,389 from York County to help meet their budget needs.
okay.
And that comes out of miscellaneous.
Right, but if we wanted to fund the extra part,
Yeah.
We could fund
we
that.
could fund
And,
it.
my argument to this is they did have it on the table just earlier than what our budget process is.
Correct.
It would, I'm going to encourage them to bring that when they come and make their
Yep.
annual report.
Yep.
So that it's clearly in our process and
Sure.
it might help.
Yep, no,
Just
I
not
hear
have to
you.
have this at this point.
And I think as we go through here, our discussion on all the rest of these will help me decide on this one.
That's fine.
So in my mind, if we, if we gave everybody what they asked, then I wouldn't have a problem, go ahead and
Sure.
giving them what they asked.
Sure.
If we decide, you know what, no, we're staying where we were last year for everybody, then I would probably say, sorry, we're gonna have to stay where we are
I
now.
wasn't here last year, so I don't know what happened on that.
I don't believe we funded the extra last.
We didn't.
We did not.
We haven't for
Was
the
it in the
last couple
budget, though,
years.
and you
We
cut
had
it?
it for the last few years.
We didn't cut it, we just said,
We
Yeah,
just didn't
I mean,
have.
I'm
we-
saying,
we
is they've
did.
never been included in the discussions. They've just been kind
right,
of an outlier.
Well, there's a lot of discussion around it. It's just, we all agreed
Okay.
with that.
Well, I just personally would like to see they asked, it would be the same recording as all the other asks. And we can do
Right.
what we want.
CASA, they're asking for 3,000 more than last year.
You wanna know those increases, Danielle, is that what
Yeah.
You mean percentage wise?
Right.
7.1%.
Blue Valley stayed the same. Hope Crisis wanted $1,500 more.
That's 11.5%.
Blue Valley Health stayed the same. Adopt a Pet requested $500 more.
That's 10%.
You know, they've been at 5% for years,
5,000.
or 5,000 for years too.
And City of Henderson requested the same as they have in the past. If we just keep going on down, City Library requested the same. YCBC requested between 3 to 5% increase, and Southeast was Development District stayed the same. Thoughts, comments, questions?
CASA, they got good real estate.
They have a
Yeah, they got-
really good
they
real
got-
estate.
And they provide, and I think we could go down here and say, you know, everybody provides a good service. They've got a nice piece of real estate upstairs that we take care of for them. They pay for their own internet or upgrade or something.
Okay, yep.
We do not fund that, but everything else, I mean, you know, it's just part of our building and they're here, so no expenses go up, but, you know, I'm fine. In fact, I'm fine with kind of staying flat on these. It is, and Henderson's, we see 12,000 on the ambulance because they didn't ask for the money and we paid them double out, so. When Bill was here, he always encouraged them to get that bill in, and so we have to encourage them to bill us and get that 6,000 from us. But, now, Adopt a Pet is my one outlier. They are statutorily, we have to do something. If they didn't do it for us, we'd have to have something, and so that's not a huge ask for the service that they, because we don't need officers running around being dog catchers.
Yep.
I don't want
I
to
would-
be the one to have to tell them.
No,
I would be fine with all of that. I'd stay in level on everything in the talking about the 780 function. And I'd be fine with the 500 extra to Adopt a Pet.
I would agree.
and then adding to this one, what Mary
Historical
mentioned.
Society.
The one-time historical society.
Yep.
But keep everything what was actual last year,
Actual.
Other than,
other than Adopt a Pet by $500, okay?
now, and I don't know if this would be in Deb's plea or not, they're asking for a specific amount of extra. That doesn't mean, I'm sure they would accept
Right.
1,000 or a couple thousand or something like that. So I'm, whether it's that number you gave us or whether we add a little bit more, you know, you make a plea for that too, because they all do provide. And so,
And they're all working to keep people off of the courts and off the streets for the police. You know what I mean? All the services are to help people take care of themselves. What I've seen is vital.
And this is, because there are pieces to Region 5, right?
Mhm.
Are you thinking that potentially your opioid money? Or is this the other piece?
well, and
That is a good.
we had explored
I'm
that.
just,
Yeah,
Could we just take it out of our opioid money,
possible.
transfer it that,
that amount,
and then every year we'd have
something.
whatever they ask for? because that amount keeps going up.
That is a good
So
question. I asked Deb
So we
to
take it out
talk
of the
to,
opioid fund or the miscellaneous?
well,
Well, I'm
that's,
gonna
that's
ask-
what's on the
That's what we're
table.
That's what, yeah.
So, I asked Deb to reach out to this Trina, who Gary's office said has some good information on what that opioid fund can be used for. And so I asked Deb to reach out to her and see if she'd give us some guidance.
She's at region.
And that might be a very good place, because one of the things we know we can do is turn it over to Region Five.
Turn it over.
So it might be a very good way to supplement a little bit more to Region Five and use some of that money without affecting
What
inheritance,
about the
without
entire
putting
amount?
on that.
What about the 5,000 that's statutorial?
The 28,000.
28,190.
That's a question. I thought
I'm
that's
just-
where you were going with
No,
that
I
question.
thought we were
Asking
talking
them
about
yeah.
5.
So we-
43.
Yeah, asked about both.
Okay.
Yeah, the 28 and the,
I mean, then that would put 28 back in the general fund, right?
Correct.
For the 100 million.
Yep.
I will ask.
But it wouldn't go to the general, go to the inheritance.
No, it'd go to general because we pay them out of the.
Region 5 gets paid out of.
the
Miscellaneous,
miscellaneous.
yeah.
I'm not sure, is there a reason
Dismiss.
That's
why
right.
they come out of there?
Because they're not a
Statutory.
special.
Because it's, I think because it's your, it's
Statutory.
And that's what
These
we've
are
always done.
specialized
yeah,
people.
I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
it's,
No.
We
that's,
don't
that's
have
why
to
it was gonna
put
be.
them to-
Yep.
We don't want to.
Okay, so for right now, are you kind of tabling the additional ask?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Till the question's answered.
Yeah, okay.
But it may come out of the opioid. Okay.
Yes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still, I'd like it to be in here. If it can be 0, that's fine. But I'm just saying, then we can't say next year, we just never have. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get in.
Right, I get what you're saying. I
You
don't
want
know
it in the
that-
requested amount.
Right, yeah. And I
I'm
do
just saying,
understand what you're
I see
saying.
it the same as CASA or any of those other
Sure.
agencies. It's just,
Yep.
I mean, I know, it's just
I
odd
don't know
because
if
they
we
have.
can do that because when we discuss and act on it, it's actually a form that we fill out to say no, denied.
I'm gonna
and
ask them to change that,
chairman
Because
sign.
there's a statutory piece that we
We
need
have
to vote on, and at the time they need it,
Yes.
yes. But this extra
Yeah.
could come when they come and give their
Right.
annual report. And then it would be just like CASA or any other
Right.
agency that
Extra
comes and
budget
asks for, yeah,
I think if you're willing to concede this year,
yes.
not having it on there, next year we'll make a point to be sure that it's on.
Okay, that's fine.
And then if we decide to fund it, we'll put it wherever we decide to
Sure.
fund it.
So will there be any expectation in this budget we're working on that they would get anything in this, or we?
I think, so, okay, if we take, what you're asking is if we take the opioid out of the question, do we want, would there be any desire to fund it through inheritance or general fund currently?
I would prefer to spend more money at CASA than Region 5. Personally.
I would say get that answer. Will be
I
mine.
think,
But I'm
I would
saying-
love to fund
When
that.
is this budget, I mean, I can call her right now if you want me to.
we don't, we're not setting the budget today.
Okay, that's
Um,
all I'm getting at.
Yep,
is,
this will get us
can
some
this be still
preliminary,
adjusted?
pretty
She will-
close
She wants to
numbers.
ask a question.
It's okay.
You're right.
She wants to call-
Yeah.
You may miss, we may go down just
No,
a
you're
little bit quickly too,
No.
but if you
Sure.
want to step aside
Yep.
and ask a question.
No, I
Right,
just want
yeah,
to know the timing of
Mhm.
getting the answer so that we can finish this when we want to finish this.
The sooner the better, so we can get
So
it
if we-
into the budget system. Jill can look over it and whatever, so the sooner. the better.
If, so let's talk,
It'll either be right now or it'll be 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Perfect.
let's talk, city library, it was flat, I think we stayed flat with all the others. So let's talk on the next page, 910, YCDC and Southeast Development District. This, Southeast was flat, so that's fine. YCDC did ask for a 3% to a 5% increase. They were, we were funding them at 80 plus. And then 3-4 years ago, we cut that down. So they really feel like we need to step up and provide a little bit more funding again. We are behind the city currently. You know, there's arguments both ways on that, but everything in the city is part of the county. So I'm fine doing an increase of some sort for them. What is this board's wishes?
Well, like Daniel said, at one time, we had made the concerted effort to say, you know, we gave them like 10,000 over 4 years, 25, and then we had the 10% cut, knocked it down to 72. So, you know, we were up there. It is being funded out of the inheritance. You know, I don't have any problems with it. I didn't have any problems with the time with the 80, you know, so I'm fine with this.
I think if we do something, I mean, I would say within that 3% that we've tried to hold everybody else to, I don't know that I'm in favor of going over that, but somewhere in that range possibly. I think that at this, I mean, they're not in front of us, but all of these programs, we talk about it every time. The day inheritance tax goes away, this discussion gets extremely harder.
Sure.
And so
That's true.
that is something that we have to be aware of, but also those that come before us have to be
All of
aware of.
these agencies know that they're under the inheritance.
We try to tell them
Okay.
when they come before us, and we try to tell them when we approve their requests. And so we try to keep it in the forefront of their mind that,
Well,
I was a recipient for years and never understood that.
okay,
we also asked when the inheritance was under attack the hardest, a couple of years ago, we asked them for letters of support to send to our senators to say, like, oh, can you send a letter?
Okay.
You know, because that's where the money comes from. So yes, some are aware.
Okay.
I'm fine with what they're asking.
I have a real problem with funding it to this level at all after knowing what I know about how their board's set up and their revenue streams and how outside entities can pay their way into influencing the people in the community, whether they're pro or against. I struggle with it. I really do. I don't know what more to say. I don't know. I think we owe them something.
Mhm.
I don't know what that number is. I go by what some of my voters tell me, we should fund them zero. You know, some of them have, I don't know, I don't feel like we're getting the benefit as a county as we should from that organization as a whole.
Okay.
Now, Lisa doesn't miss much, so I'll give her that. She's very good at a lot of things, I'll give her that. But the way the funding of that organization ran through and the outside influence it's allowed to be present in that organization, I really struggle with. So, I really got a sour taste in my mouth after the amount of time OPPD utilized that and spent numerous amounts of time and leverage what I consider taxpayer dollars to help facilitate their program that ultimately is sold out of. So, and I may be the only one that feels that way, and I really probably am.
no, I hear your concern, and I think the argument that they would make is that anybody that wants to invest in the community, they're gonna accept their
And I
investment.
agree with that, and that's a fine model. Right. But at what level does taxpayer money add to that formula?
Sure.
So.
do you, do you see, you said that you're not sure on what level. Are you feeling current level is good enough? Are you feeling maybe 1 or 2% increase? Or are you feeling more of a decrease?
That's where my,
When,
I
sure,
really, definitely not an increase.
Mhm.
Definitely not an increase. Now, funding at current levels. With a lot of money where we really have no say in the direction of that organization.
sure, yeah.
And it's not something directly helping, it's indirectly helping the citizens of
Sure.
the county.
Mhm.
It's not something direct like CASA, it's not direct like a library, it's not direct like all these other services that are on up top. I mean,
Right. So,
I could live with leaving it the same. If you guys decide to raise it, I can live with that too. It just, my vote will be no.
sure. Okay. As the representative to that board, I sit on the exec board, so try to help drive the conversation in positive directions. I'm one of, what is it, 5 or 6, I think, on that board, so, just one voice on there, but, so we do have some influence, again, 1 seat.
Right.
So,
The
It's
other
all
side
good
of it,
information.
I've had multiple conversations, some of them just recently about business entities that came to our area, and I don't know who they talked to. I can't figure out who they talked to, but talked to someone in the York area and immediately pulled out some extremely large investors that would have benefited the county as a whole. So what are happening to those types of projects?
sure,
I can't imagine Lisa doing anything derail anything that looks good.
Yeah, I can't
So-
either, but where are these going? I mean,
And then there's some that, are they a good fit?
the two that I heard, the one recently and the one I heard about 6 months ago, that there's some validity to. It'd have been a great fit. It'd have been a great fit.
And that's the economic development to me is all like advertising. I mean, we don't really get to know all the time, is it working for us or not?
Yeah, it's hard to track basically its results, right?
And they can't tout, everything because some people just come and build a business.
There's NDAs on a lot of stuff.
Right.
I fully understand that.
Well, and they will tout. Oh, it grew this much, therefore that
They
was
can't.
us.
They can't.
And you can be like, you can take it with a grain of salt as well.
Did, so one of the things that with an increase, there's a few programs that they felt they were having to hold back because of some of the levelness in our funding.
Yeah.
I know that they did go to visitors, I believe. Do you know, did that get funded for some advertising? So, that's one way to help supplement, because they do, they've been instrumental in bringing in some of the extra rooms and whatnot. I've shared my concerns with the board regarding the budget and direction of the budget. We've talked through that a lot. They know how this board feels on a lot of that, and I've been perfectly fine staying level. I think we've stayed at a level a level playing field for zero increase, however you want to say it, for the last few years, and I think that's been fine. I do think that an increase this year is okay.
I'm gonna go for that.
Looking at now, I told them kind of where we were going. Their wish was quite a bit more than what they actually came and presented to us, based on what I told them we were going to be holding our elected officials and department heads to on the budget, and I didn't feel like we could fund them at a higher level than we're funding our own operations. And so, yeah, in that 3-ish range, I'm fine with. So their request is 78, their 3% request is 78,280. If we said around 78,000 even, it's an increase, but
I'm gonna be a no.
okay.
But I'm
Yeah.
going to 5, I mean, that's
Sure.
what the board.
Yep.
So,
Thoughts, do we want to, we've had kind of a consensus on most of this, do we want to put this one to a vote? Do we, is there a consensus to do an increase?
Their costs are going up the same as everyone else.
Yeah, I'm fine with the increase. That's fine. As we've already heard.
Yep.
You folks.
So for
we-
now,
we
we can be.
We did agree not to increase costs, so let me throw that one out there.
Correct.
And we have not agreed to do the Region 5, which is an increased ask. Let me throw that out there.
Correct.
But Lisa understands that this is inherited tax money that she's getting, and it's very volatile right now, so.
Yep.
And that could be zero overnight for her there too.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And of course, the piece we don't have, now this doesn't change it for Hope or anybody else, but the piece that we don't have in here about costs is, the room they get. Undoubtedly, if they were renting room, that's going up, so.
Yeah, they do that good. We did mention that.
Yeah, hope we did not as well either. If,
I'm good with what they've requested, I know at one time we made a commitment over so many years, but if we use this as a request, I'm good with it.
Okay. We have a consensus of at least 3 have voiced, and I'm okay with some sort of increase. So I guess for now, we can leave it there unless somebody wants to make a motion regarding that, but we're probably all right there. It all comes down to the end. Don't know that there's much else in inheritance tax. Emergency.
Sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
Yes.
yes.
Okay, that's there, but that's not the right one.
The 530,000, that's not a number that I had on the first run.
The 500
Is the,
is the roads, and
that's an in, not an
third.
out. This is shown as an out, a transfer out, and isn't it from road to inheritance?
yes, it's,
So it
should-
it's from
Okay,
inheritance to the general, if we need to.
Oh, which we won't need to.
Which we probably don't need to. And then the 30,000, that was the vehicle, but I think that should be 130,000 because of the.
Oh, for the sheriff,
Yes.
Okay,
I put
all right,
30,000,
so, okay,
and it should be 630, but if we don't need the 500,000 in the general fund, we can
Shouldn't.
just change that to 130. Isn't that what the,
yeah, I'll just make sure all that matches. I was trying to because
yes.
Because we
Okay.
got through today's vendor claims,
Mm-hmm. We did, and we should be getting,
and Deb paid her taxes today, so we're
okay,
Nice.
sitting
so,
pretty solid.
Nice.
So we should be good. And then we'll just have to decide, Jill, what we're the other expenditures that are going out.
Yep. That's why I wanted to understand what that was, so. Okay. Okay, I'm good on that one.
910,
2910,
2910. Yes.
well, that's obviously what we got in front of us. We had the discussion about the wages today. If we want to do any adjusting there, we can with that 150 that is in there for set aside future equipment that is built into that just in case there are any equipment needs. So there's actually a little bit in there. I don't know how the raises, we really didn't finish the wage conversation that I'm aware of there, and how that plays into the upper half of that budget. So, I mean, I think it's close.
Mhm.
Where we're at, so we should be good for now unless we.
Mainly on wages.
Right. And then, 2913, unless there's any questions for 2910. 2913 is the money that comes in from Public Service Commission. She does have some bills out of there, and then anything that's left in there at the end of the budget year gets transferred over to 2910.
Why is there two salaries in the 2910?
Where are we?
Official salary and deputy salary.
Official would be Mindy, and deputy would be Gina.
Oh, that's out of that. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad. That's 911.
So then the 2914 is that set aside money that she's got budgeted to deplete this year, and then that will be gone completely. And 2915 is the new fund, well, not the new fund, the new emergency manager that we're splitting. And those were the new numbers?
On the
Should have
expense
the
side,
new
yes.
Okay.
My only question on that, did you determine what you were doing with the grant piece of that? Because we've had that as an offset in prior years.
But there hasn't been any grant money come in since like
No.
spring.
Okay, so that, because part of the discussion was, is Fillmore getting all of the grant and they're deducting it from what they bill you?
There hasn't been any grant money come in since, like, not even this year. I think it was,
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was-
There
it was-
hasn't been any,
it was
even
prior
from
to
sewer?
Gary, there was no
Okay.
more coming in.
Okay,
And
All right.
there could be, but
Okay.
you're right, Jill, Fillmore County is going to get the grant and they will just bill us less.
they'll bill you less.
Yes.
Is there, okay,
That is from what I am understanding.
okay.
Did we have that in our agreement, Daniel? I'm trying to think. I don't
I
know
don't
if we
know
touched.
about
I don't know if we touched on that. Because there hasn't been any grant money. NEMA, FEMA, there hasn't been any.
Yeah,
Yeah, it should be that EMPG funds.
Mhm.
she applied for something with FEMA and didn't get it. She didn't think it was gonna come through.
Good on that one? Like the zeros. Debt service. 3,700.
Yeah, the property tax number that's on there is not correct. Just FYI. That property tax number, because what we've been doing is we've been budgeting a double payment because you've got to have the money in pocket by June 30 to be able to make the payment on 7/1. So your expenses on well, it'd be page 99 according to this. What you're seeing is 810,000 and 59,000 for the interest. That really becomes 1.635 million and 104,000 in interest. And the property tax request that shows 11,000 on page 146 becomes 866,127.
Same as we did last year.
It's actually up based on the way collections came in. Because we had less carryover. So we were about 50,000 shy on carryover, so it winds up going up. So,
So this is our bonded indebtedness that we will have for another 4 or 5 years, 5 years. But we're a payment ahead.
Is this on the addition?
No, this is on,
highway on
we did bridges, we did $8 million over 10 years.
Do you want to hear the sad news?
Is there sad news?
By my calculations, we only found 966,000.
That'd be sad, but it's not a surprise.
That's better than probably just 66,000. At least we found almost $1 million. I mean,
But we need to
that's,
find another million.
I don't think we're going to.
So,
We just gotta
Are we
find more
gonna-
revenue.
yes. Yeah.
We found cuts, we just gotta find revenue now.
You're good with
And that's taking Region 5 out of.
Yeah, that was the new,
So we
That's
have.
right.
we told you
I guess
about
you
that,
guys-
didn't we?
Well,
We're-
you gave me
We're paying
your
in
new,
we're paying in the rear, so they're gonna calculate every year
Business.
of
because
what it,
Region 5 comes
what it
under
costs to run it,
So if we
Correct.
and then
If we
the services that is, goes to the county,
okay,
and then we will pay our percent. So for 26, 27, we're paying what they come up with for 25, 26.
oh, okay. No, we hadn't said that they changed
That's how
their,
we come up
Okay.
with, right,
Okay.
Daniel?
I'm sorry,
You agree? All right.
Sure.
How we're paying for the ambulance now.
Oh, yeah,
It's being
Yeah.
figured a year.
correct.
Okay.
I marked some stuff on the general fund revenue, because clearly that's where the revenue needs to be.
Right.
I don't know what you want to do with those. You want me to go through them? Do you want to, I can just,
How much are we talking?
well, some in the commission, so I don't, I'm on page 106. Tax credit commission, 36102, it was 50,500 in 24-25. It was 61.5 in 25-26, and we budgeted 45,000.
Okay.
Sales tax commission, I mean, none of these are big dollars, but
We could pick up a little bit
we
there.
could pick up, yeah. Yeah, the school tax credit commission, we don't have anything budgeted for that. That was, well, property tax commission is a little, it was 277 actual versus a $300,000 budget, but there's like 75,000 in school tax credit commission with no budget, so there's about a 50,000 potential there. There's a little bit, Mary, under yours with marriage licenses and plats. again, nothing
Um,
earth shattering.
Flats, I'm not selling anymore.
Okay, so that should be,
And July marriage licenses went up double, so that could be, I'm gonna refigure how many marriage licenses we
Okay.
sell.
so
That
that,
could
I
be.
mean, it's just a little bit, but again, every little bit helps. Passport fees were about 20K and the prior 2 years actual, we've got 15K budgeted.
What about CDC, Department of Social Security, Title V?
That one is the child support, right, that went to the state.
Yep. Okay, got it,
So
thanks.
I think that's why that's zero
Got it.
now.
Yep.
Registered deeds fees, we were at 53.5, then 67.5, we've got 50 budgeted.
Those went up, right? Oh, the dock stamps, I guess.
But we don't get to keep them.
But it's still revenue in, right? No?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
only your share of the dock stamps. I mean, you would get a piece of
Yes, we
any
get a piece
increase,
of it,
but
but yeah.
what is that, like 22%?
No, it's down to
Oh,
like 0.111 or something, but it went up to $3.32.
Gotcha.
We still have the same percentage, it's
Okay.
just more money gets sent to the state.
Gotcha. Sheriff fees were 42 and 50 and it's 35 budgeted. I mean,
Yeah, could be a little bit there, maybe.
Oh, but he
But
put,
he did, yeah.
he split it out, didn't he? Sorry, I just saw that too. So that's probably
Yeah.
even. Vehicle inspections, there's maybe 2,500 bucks there.
Donation, oh, okay.
Yeah, I felt those are
I know, I
probably
want that
one-offs.
50 again, sure.
Yeah, those are probably one-offs. The one that I think is out of line the wrong way is there's $20,000 budgeted for handy bus fees
Yeah.
on 3,400 and 3,900. I don't know where that number came from.
Yeah, I don't think that can happen.
So I think that one's gotta go the other way. And then I think, I mean, I don't know what you think on interest. I know you and Megan looked at that,
We
I
did.
just,
We are still here, it's not just a figment of your imagination.
Yeah.
He's here to evacuate.
Wait, he might have come in here to say that they have a lower budget.
Oh, you're gonna help us find some, thank you,
No,
John.
interest just went down.
We only need 1.1 million, we're down
So-
900,000.
I know, I just,
It isn't like the glory days when we got
Yeah, I know.
$250,000 in.
yeah, I know.
Fun.
We did talk about adding a little something from the,
We,
for the weed stuff.
Yep.
So.
So if we adjust some of those numbers,
Have a public hearing.
when can we, I mean, obviously Daniel's got his list of what we took out. When can we plug numbers in to see?
Well, I need to make these changes.
Okay,
Obviously, it's 10% less than that.
Which, what I would really like to do that Thursday, because I would like to, while I'm here tomorrow,
get on the audit.
and be tracking down grants. And that's
Okay.
my concern while I have people in front of my face.
Okay.
Otherwise that, now I will tell you, we still don't have a compliance supplement yet. God bless the feds, they have not released that yet. But I would like to spend my time while I am here tomorrow dealing with single audit stuff.
So if Mary inputs some numbers,
Well, she needs, what needs to happen is I need to get numbers in and make sure we're in balance.
okay,
And then Mary needs to take my numbers and get them in
And give
hers.
us hers.
Because right now,
Okay.
we're not balanced.
All right.
So, yeah, so let me balance first.
Okay.
And then Mary can change it, but I can dump it in on my side too and see where things are.
Because, you know, at some point in time, you know, we'll get our other numbers.
Your time valuation, yeah.
And get those, so we can get all that plugged in and see where we're at.
Yeah.
And how the carryover from last year, do we know how that affects? We're not 100% sure yet.
That's what if I take all of this and get us to where we feel like our proposed numbers are, then I think we dump it in and we look at all of that
Okay.
piece, and assuming Kurt has a number for us, which Thursday would be the 20th anyway, so.
Okay.
Then I think we can have additional discussion from there.
You should have it this afternoon, he said.
I understand, I'm just
Yeah, I
saying,
know.
She wants the balance first.
so,
So we're in kind of a hold until that happens. And then we'll know what we need to cut or come up with more revenue. Okay.
Their office closes at 4:30.
So what is our thought on wages now? Are we in a hold pattern till we get some of this figured out again? Take it up again next meeting? I don't know, I don't know what's best.
I think we should need to
I
set
mean, as far
wages so we know where we're exactly at.
if your projections are close, then, I mean, are there areas where you think you're gonna have big gains by changing your wages?
I think so.
No, I don't, yeah.
That you haven't already kind of
Get a consensus.
addressed?
We need to
Yeah, all we
set them
really
so
have
we know.
left, unless we decide we're gonna make some drastic changes, would be those deputies, so.
So I guess this is the question. I assume that we're not gonna backpedal on what we've recommended on wages. Obviously, going through here, we only found 966,000. Hopefully, we find a little more revenue, maybe we found $1 million. If we set wages, which that's fine, but then how are we going to, what is our
Back.
process to get to a budget number that we can sell with those wages? But we're
We
far
don't know
enough.
what that budget number is yet. That's why
Well, we need the wages to get that budget number.
we have wages in there now.
Yeah.
And we're not, and the wages that we're, even say we're up in the air on aren't gonna move the needle.
Exactly, that's
They're-
my
they're there.
point.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, the number we need to know is where we at? What do we have the authority to raise over last year? And, where we
So-
at?
Right, so here's where, let's say we don't have the authority to do the budget that we have currently, but we set the wages today, then what are we gonna do to get us into to a budget where we actually have the authority to issue that budget? Now, that same scenario, we're far enough down the road, I don't know that we're gonna say no raises. you know, in order to get to a budget that I don't know that that's what we're gonna do. And so, you know, it's 6 over here and half a dozen over here of how best to move forward. I just,
I'd rather, I mean, we already told, the treasurer, if she can find postage money that she doesn't really need, she could adjust a salary.
right,
So could we not ask them to? I'd rather, you know, I mean, I'm just wondering, cutting the office, the operating expenses
right.
percent to help us versus the salaries that have already been to the bone and trying to put some meat back on, or it would be right so that we can keep employees. You know. I don't know, I'm
Yep.
just, that's an idea I have, so I'm throwing it out there.
Daniel, I don't know what our plan is, because I don't know what the number is.
I know.
You know, I mean, if the 400 carryover, 450 carryover comes in, and we can utilize it on top of what possibly we would have this year, that could be another $1 million. Right. But so I don't know, I can't give you an answer until I know what that number is.
Right.
Then I can give you an educated
Yep.
answer, because of it, you know, at that point in time, it takes, you know, right now Inheritance is sitting at 3.6. We're gonna run 500 back into it.
Yep.
You know, out of the road, so we're at 4.1. We're spending some of it this, you know, out of here, you know.
Committed
And
look.
if it takes a couple more 100,000, well, then that's not a big deal.
Sure.
If it takes $1 million, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
So I'm,
Right.
well, where's that line though?
Right,
What-
we have to get
so
the.
it,
we have
Where's
Is
to
it
the
get
at
the
100,000? Is it
Yeah.
at 600,000? Is that 658? Is it?
I'm gonna go see if
100
Kurt
to
has the
200.
valuation, I'm
It's
gonna
not gonna matter.
put it in, so it matters.
she's got balance.
We gotta get it.
Oh, I know,
gotta
we have
get
to
it
balance
And the
first.
value, the valuation isn't the big number.
It's
it's
the
the growth.
request.
It's the growth that we
Yeah.
need,
Yeah.
and he didn't have that the
Where's the
other day
growth?
either.
Because, you know, valuation, then we're gonna fall into that deal. Okay, valuation went up $500,000 or whatever, 300,000, whatever. But we leave our levy the same, we're still raising taxes.
We're still raising taxes because of the,
Yes, they're paying the same levy on
On the
more.
higher tax.
on more value.
So I guess I will ask for is there a motion to postpone action on, setting all, postponement of action on all wages? Or is there a motion to continue, and come to a consensus and vote on wages today?
Well, as we started the day, you know, I felt like we're gonna, and we have had a lot of discussion, I think a lot of it's been good, that we would set the wages, you know, another day. So I would prefer to postpone, to table, whatever word we want to use, and do it on the first, the meeting. It's done and hit the first, September 1. Then we're gonna know more of those numbers.
Okay.
Not that it's gonna change my mind on, I mean, we still need to
Right.
pay our people.
Yep.
We've seen some very passionate pleas to
Yep.
continue to pay our people. And then that's why we're sitting here, for everybody else to give us a call. And
Yep.
whoever wants to watch this 10-hour video or whatever today is.
Yep, okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion on postponement of setting wages?
When do the wages normally get enacted?
Go in effect?
October, the first
So
payroll
we're
in
not
October.
affecting that at all.
But the next meeting, the next two meetings, well, I would
We could-
prefer it the next meeting. Because then Cheryl will actually have time
Yeah.
to set it up in the system and not have to rush to get
Yeah.
things
I'm
put
not sure
in.
exactly when we did it last year. We did postpone it last year.
We
We
did.
did.
Yep. I don't remember if we did it the next meeting or it possibly could have been.
We actually
Two
set
more
the
meetings.
wages in August of last year.
Hmm.
I
thought-
promise you,
I thought
I
we
promise you, I did.
when we
It
started
was the
we
second
might have
meeting.
started,
We
It was
probably
the
started-
we
second
started
meeting.
the first meeting, because I know we postponed it once.
It was the second meeting in August. Every year before that, they've always been set in August.
So we're good.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
September 1st is basically August.
Right.
August-ish.
August adjacent.
Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Obermeyer,
Yes.
Burgess,
Yes.
Bowman,
Sure.
Robertson,
Yes.
and Rhodes.
Yes. All right, anything anybody wants to talk about in
Committee reports?
I really haven't been to any.
Thanks.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I talked with Four Corners about their budget, went through all that stuff. Surprisingly enough, unlike most people, they actually received more grant money than they were expecting. And so they actually had to figure out budget stuff the other way. Rather than, cut everything, it was more like figure out, because they weren't expecting this, obviously, with what everyone's kind of been working with. But anyway, so actually, that's some pretty good news. And then I've got Blue Valley in about an hour and a half or so. So I'm gonna miss their tour, unfortunately, of their new Head Start Center or whatever down in Geneva, but that's okay. And then,
You can leave here, you can take.
yeah, I think that's most of it. Yeah, anyway, mostly just Four Corners talking about budget and stuff and getting ready for we're gonna have like 2 or 3 public hearings in our meeting in September, so I have one for like the pools, for the budget, and then for whatever else. There's a few different things that have to happen with that. So that's my stuff.
Cool. Anything you wanna add?
I'm gonna pass.
Thanks. Brandon?
The only thing that I do want to touch on is, I have visitors tomorrow morning, so I'm glad we're getting out of here now for visitors. I talked to Andy just a little bit about it, when it comes time, 3 of us were there last time for the zoning meeting. I think when it comes time that this matrix gets rolled out, I think it should be a dual meeting. Because matrix is a whole new
Right.
piece that we're
Yeah, that's
all gonna have to figure out.
Yeah.
And rather than going through the explanation to them and then bringing it to us and have to read, I don't know when that meeting would be, but enable all of us to learn at the same time, I think it's gonna be positive for that new matrix.
Are we all on board with the new matrix, or we don't know enough about it yet?
I think we gotta see how it operates.
I think we need to put the values in, work through it.
Right,
And I think the same meeting, hopefully there's enough time, we can walk through the livestock matrix deal, because there's a lot of unknowns in that one too. And I think, just like the other matrix, there's a lot of moving pieces that I think it's best if we just agree as a collective.
Correct.
I agree, because, they're putting a lot of time into this, they're gonna,
Don't like it
the
when you
zoning
say that.
board, but they are just a recommendation to us, and, I just really think it'd be great for us to go through it together versus.
Right.
And get this to.
Agreed.
That, other than budget stuff, and,
Yeah.
we had our quarterly meeting last week, and I think everything went pretty well there.
Very good. You'd passed, correct? You didn't have anything?
I didn't get to the veterans meeting, I have their minutes, but, I wasn't there.
Oh,
That
thank
works.
you, you did great. We do have a new sign-out sheet for equipment
Yeah.
for veterans. A little bit of a liability sign-off, and just got some teeth into our program, like return it clean, or otherwise you're gonna lose your privileges. Chuck Byers, head of the Veterans Committee, did reach out and has email confirmation with a couple different field officials at York General Hospital about the change, and then he's also contacted Blue Valley about the change, so hopefully we can divert. And then actually just talking with Mary Beth today, there's a good chance that we need to sit down with Aging Services, look at both sets of equipment, see if there's a surplus that we have, or to try to help get the most use out of all of the assets.
What did Lori say she had? She has like,
It's
We got 2 walkers, we got,
but she doesn't have like any stool lifts or shower things or
We-
anything like
I
that.
I don't even have any clue. I know we got a whole locker full of stuff downstairs. We need to just get it all inventoried and see where it needs to reside.
Okay, sounds good. Budget has consumed most of my time. Anybody else have anything?
real, there you go, Joe, really?
Uh,
I thought you'd been a little more prepared.
You don't want to talk anything about East Coast or
No,
nothing?
you know, I did work on the budget while I was sitting on the
Yeah,
beach.
you
How about
just
that?
said
Can I believe that?
Well, okay, I did work on the budget while I was on vacation. I wasn't sitting on the beach. Anybody else got anything else?